Futures back to the downside here this morning as we could potentially see the sell-off resume on potentially more escalation on the tariff front from China. We'll talk about that coming up. Out early this morning. As a result, you can see futures had a quick move to the downside. We did make new lows before recovery started to come in, along with bank earnings. Bank earnings, for the most part, not bad here, right across the board. Welcome to earnings season overall. Number of things to note here on the left-hand side of the screen right now. Fed's Bowman coming up at 8:45. We'll get Powell today as well during the lunch hour, 12:20. Fed Chair Powell speaking at an event. We'll be all over that. And then later in the day, Fed's Waller and Fed's Collins going to be making some comments as well. Individual movers, all about individual banks here this morning as well. JP Morgan, absolutely blowout report. Trading specifically, absolutely huge for JP Morgan. The price action, however, as it typically is with some of these banks, really not doing a heck of a lot here this morning. We'll touch on some of them coming up. It's worth noting AMD, big mover here in the pre-market. AMD and Oracle teaming up to deploy 50,000, or sorry, Oracle and AMD. Oracle's going to deploy 50,000 plus AMD AI chips. So more deal making in the AI space to talk about this morning as well. Ms. Adara beside me once again this morning. I mean, where to start here? Ahead of Powell coming up at lunchtime today, I mean, we're into earnings season here. Not a heck of a lot on the economic front outside of maybe some indication to come from these Fed speakers today. I doubt we'll get much, though. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we know Fed's Waller last week said that they really maybe don't even need this economic data as much. They can hopefully rely more on the private economic data that they get released. We know CPI, that was expected to come this week. That's confirmed to not come until October 24th. So the Fed will have it before their decision, but we will get it about a week and a half later than expected. So interesting look there. These AI deals, though, I think that's continued to be an overwhelming catalyst. Broadcom, after announcing their OpenAI deal yesterday, reportedly out with, or they're going to announce a new chip reportedly. And then we also had the Salesforce teaming up with OpenAI. So many partnerships. Yeah, Broadcom, nice move yesterday. Here's Oracle right now gapping down with the overall market early on, trying to push higher through that pre-market high anyways to start, along with AMD. Again, if you're just joining here, Oracle and AMD on a tie-up here this morning. 50,000 AMD AI chips to be deployed by Oracle. So starting to head back in the right direction here, guys, but overall, a bit of a negative tone to start. Great to have Neil back in the chair this morning, guys. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yes. What'd I miss?
Not actually. You know what? I think if you put the market back to where you were last year, you're probably in the same sort of a spot.
I don't think I missed anything.
To be honest with you, but yeah, welcome back. It's great to have you back. You have Bitcoin. What might be the one that might be the biggest surprise?
That was like the biggest. Yeah, that was the. That was nasty. The liquidation event. Yeah, but you know, overall, like what you know what I'm already pissed off about and angry about. How does CRM get an OpenAI deal and they're not up? Everybody else goes up if you get an OpenAI deal or announce something, you're supposed to go crazy. CRM is actually flat on that news. So once again, that stock kind of stinks. But AMD going ham, that happened last week. I guess I missed the day that AMD went up like 25%. But yeah, continuing a bit of that move with this announcement here. MP going nuts with these tensions. Obviously, that's over like $100. That's going crazy. Got a little bit of Tesla on my mind in a more of a bearish tone, but yeah. So far, I think this is the one that's surprising me the most. Like I expected CRM to be up a few points on this OpenAI thing, and it's not even. There's no volume. I guess no excitement for.
So that's what's trying to break out at least. Looking at it. Oh no, my God, you're doing that.
And the Jays suck.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, you're making it to the ALCSs. I got the hat on.
They get outplayed.
We're still trying to support them, and it's too bad they'll never see Bo Bichette in a Blue Jay uniform again.
It's the worst way to end it.
I know. I love the guy too. I just don't think we'll pay him. I think the Yankees may do that with Volpe there, and they'll get rid of him and pay Bo what he.
He's going to get a lot of money.
We can't pay him. I mean, we're the fifth highest salary in the Major League Baseball.
He's going to get way more than we can pay, and we shouldn't.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, our team just put some hits together. Hey, man, we could still win.
Oh, yeah.
Bichette to the Braves? Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
The Braves.
Hopefully out of the AL. That would be good for us. Yeah, but welcome. It's nice to have Neil back. I mean, we want to thank Obi and Joe and everybody for filling in as much as they did over that time.
Yeah.
So now you just don't have to put up with me. You had to put up with both of us, so that's good. We had to trade the pool guys in yesterday, so it was nice to see Mitch and all that. Of course, these guys are trading in sim mode, so a little different, not apples to oranges, but it was fun. We had them in. I hope you guys all enjoyed the competition there yesterday. They pimped me out and made me record all these different things. So hopefully there'll be some Trade the Pool stuff with some Trader TV Live happening at some point here. But yeah, good. I went to the Leafs game yesterday. They lost 3-2, so it was not a good time for Toronto sports teams. There was a day last week, I think, when every Toronto sports team actually won, but
yeah,
the Leafs
and
lost
then the Bills lost
there.
too. Like, what are you gonna do?
A couple good opportunities. Oh, here, I don't know. Did I?
All Toronto was weak yesterday.
Oh, the Bills.
But at least with the Leafs, whatever. Like at this time, not that big of a deal.
Yeah, did I?
I don't know what the Bills were doing.
Yeah, this is me. I don't know if you guys ever want to see. Neil, of course, knows my brother, but here we go. Here we go. Here. It actually looks like it's superimposed here, but this is what he. There it is, right there. So
yeah, it looks like.
It does, right? I don't know why.
It's because of the shade of the blue or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even know why I was wearing my jacket. We just were walking around there and grabbed a beer. So, anyways, yeah, it was a fun time there. So we're back and ready to rock and roll right now. It's Tuesday. You know, it feels. We had Thanksgiving yesterday, you know, here. So it was a holiday for many in Canada, but we're glad to be back. Yeah, no, I obviously had the laser eye surgery, so that's why I've got these glasses on. But they're not really working that well, and I'm not supposed to really be in screens, but we've been having too many back and forth.
You're supposed to wear the shades.
Yeah.
Those like.
We haven't had a full group here again, and now Sharif's off. So, yeah, sick.
My bad.
I got to start. You're bad. I don't think it has anything to do with you.
I teleported.
Yeah. But anyways, hopefully Sharif's getting better, and hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. I have Friday off, and I don't plan on being sick anytime soon. The kids got another tournament, so we're off on Friday.
Tourney time.
All right, man, we're all back in well, we're almost all back. Let's go back over to the desk and see what they're talking about. I actually thought AMD is pulling, actually just quickly here, AMD is pulling back. I have it on my screen a little bit right now. When I woke up, I was quite ill with the market, and then that might have saved a little bit of us here, but now you're starting to push back just a little bit. Right now, back to the downside. Did the Dodgers wind up winning last night?
Oh my goodness!
Was it?
I saw the highlight this morning because obviously I wasn't staying.
Oh, I saw. No, I saw what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth.
Did you see what happened?
Well, no, I saw the guy.
The guy struck out.
Right. I saw that.
The pitch before he struck out.
Oh, was almost hit the guy.
He literally dodges out of the way of what would have been a game-tying hit by pitch.
I actually saw the end of that game.
And everyone that's like, oh, but you don't know what it's like to be hit by a hard pitch. If you know that the bases are loaded,
yeah, but I think it's an instinct.
But you go up to bat knowing that you have to take one for the team.
Yeah,
it's fine to move out of the way, but you got to know which way to turn when you're trying to get hit by the pitch, and that's you turn in like that. You get out of the way this way so that it hits you. Like,
it's just such a natural instinct to get away from it, though. So I
used to get hit by a lot of pitches because I was leadoff guy. So it's in my DNA to get hit by the pitch and then steal. But anyways.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Like that's a tough way to lose a game. Ridiculously tough.
Bases loaded at the end of the day. They didn't. All right.
What's going on in the background, Minnesota Trader? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What?
No, I know what's going on in the background, but this thing wasn't here before. The
that little desk thing.
Yeah, the desk thing wasn't here.
Yeah, it was there yesterday. I don't know.
It's a little high tech.
There's a lot of stuff happening around here. Stop asking so many questions. Chat. The JP Morgan always has good reports, and it doesn't really do anything.
It's all the banks, man.
That's part of the thing with all these bank stocks here today was JP Morgan, wasn't Morgan Stanley reported as well, like 308. Like it's not, I mean, this is, look at JP Morgan. This is their earnings day. Okay. Morgan as well, just hovering around. Oh, 154. Okay, maybe this is moving a little bit. No, are we even sure that they even reported today? I mean, we're not. We have no 13,000. What did Morgan report? No. Okay, so it was BAC then. There was who reported? Yeah, so JP Morgan, I mean, it's funny that all these other banks are reporting and the only ones moving are the ones that didn't report. Citigroup is up there, and apparently Goldman, I just hear from Brendo, is moving around a little bit as well. 135,000 shares. Okay, so Goldman is the one that's actually a little bit down today. All right, what's up, Nick Downs? Yeah, I'm just playing around with you guys, man. I mean, you know, you can ask questions about what's going on in the back. We're renovating the whole studio. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about Studio 8 happening, and we're taking this to the whole nother level over here. So, you know, once we start leveling up, there's no stopping.
Can't stop, won't stop.
So,
right, Wells Fargo's the one that's up.
Oh, Wells Fargo.
That's the one. If you're looking for the bank that's actually doing something good, it would be Wells. Why does this keep popping up on my e-signal? Like, click. I mean,
Goldman Sachs is down 3% here.
Yeah, Wells looks pretty solid, actually. Hold that 50-period moving average. Maybe let's get up to the desk, but at least these guys are doing well.
What's wrong with your e-signal entitlements over there? What is that saying?
No, it says connection status. Quote.
Connection stable?
Here, don't show again.
All right, you got it. You got it. All right, let's go see what Adara and Brendan are up to. Probably some bank-related things.
Yeah, just monitoring some of these, or the lack thereof, maybe, bank movement right now. As Sean was mentioning, Goldman really the only one doing much of anything at all. That's Friday's low coming into play right now. Like, we're down here. That's where we went out yesterday. We're all the way back down here, teetering on that low. So everything else, as far as banks concerned, pretty good. Goldman, not so much. So set that aside. Everything else, pretty good, especially JP Morgan. That's the scoreboard, the perplexity scoreboard, if you would like, for index futures right now. So 0.8 for the S&P, full 1.1% right now for the Nasdaq up here top right. VIX continuing its move back to the upside, same as the flies in here. Dow futures about 0.75 higher as well. It's worth noting again, we're seeing some of this negativity coming into play because of some movement from China on the tariff front, once again, targeting not one but two South Korean companies with U.S. subsidiaries specifically. So U.S. making moves once again in the rare earth space, trying to position themselves a little bit more, with a little bit more strength going into these talks between Trump and Xi. I think China responding to that again today.
Yeah, and I mean, we know on Sunday they responded. They said that the U.S. was basically kind of having a double standard here with regards to their tariff measures, and then saying that China can't release their own letters when we know there were letters released by the U.S. as well. So there was that. And then yesterday as well, though, China and the U.S. said, oh, we're still going to be talking. We're still going to be negotiating. Scott Bessent, U.S. Treasury Secretary, echoed that as well. And yeah, so now apparently the latest update is 5 U.S. subsidiaries of Hanwha Ocean, which is the South Korean shipbuilder, are going to be sanctioned here by China. Apparently, Hanwha Ocean shares down in Seoul, in South Korea, on this news. But yeah, I mean, overall, if you look at it from that geopolitical perspective, it just shows that we're going to continue to have this back and forth. Yeah. And as I said, you know, a lot of the midday on the news segment with regards to China and the U.S., it feels like we get something and then something gets taken back. Yeah. And then it's going to be constant, but I think that kind of constant back and forth, as you can literally see in the market, gapping up and then gapping down. I have a feeling it's only going to escalate from here.
It has very little to do with this South Korean company specifically, individually, other than the ties to the U.S. There is a U.S. subsidiary. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on 12:20 coming up this afternoon during lunchtime. Powell speaking at an event in Philadelphia. I was just trying to find the Economic Outlook and Monetary Policy at the National Association of Business Economics annual meeting, which is in Philadelphia again at lunchtime today. So it's the first time he's going to has made an appearance since the rate cut going back to last month. So I'm sure if there is a Q&A, there'll be tons of questions on what comes next, you know, how the overall economy is shaping up without any data coming out from the government. Remember, with the shutdown continuing, how they're handling that. Could be market moving. Guys, worth noting, yields not really doing much of anything this morning. Dollar is a bit on the weak side here, which is interesting coming off what happened end of last week.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, there's something just happened in the market.
I don't know.
Good,
we just turned
right here. AMD is starting to get to the downside again right now. Decent move happening back to the downside right now. I heard something about tech transfers, maybe. I'm not sure. 185 for Nvidia on the downside. Yeah, a bunch of Feds speak today. We have Here, I tweeted it out. So we've got, and I want to know what levels. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the Leaf game. It was really. I love it when the little kids come out. Oh, it's not loading. When the little kids come out and wave the flags. Fed's Bowman right now. So we'll hear what he has. Maybe that's what the market was just going to the downside. Maybe okay. So Fed's Bowman just speaking right now, and then Powell at 12:20. Waller Collins. So yeah, Bowman. We're waiting for comments as we speak right now. So the market just did a little bit of a move to the downside there. We'll see if we can hold out. But we hear, all the talk today. UUU up to $27. That's still going. That's up 14%. CRML, again, these critical metals plays, rare earth plays, all really going, man. Like 36%.
That's where the risk is on.
You thought that you missed some of these plays, man. You didn't miss they're all this was $4 to, okay, Neil, I know what you missed. Rare earth plays. $6.50, $31. USAR, a name that we talked about on this show many times, and I was like, oh man, this stock will just eventually just go up and down, and we'll be able to buy this. No, you are not. $43 on USAR, up 11% as well. We saw MP yesterday, MP Materials, wow, on more mineral talk, another 6.5%. All you can say is look at these prices and be like, what in the you-know-what? The U.S. might be making more money in these plays than they're collecting in tax. This is a monster move here, again, for MP Metals, straight to the upside. Yeah, things seem to be working in this space, and not so hot anymore, for names like Intel and whatnot that have pulled back a little bit here with the tech trade. So it's quite clear that there's one side of everything here. Tech is sort of going one way, and some of these metal plays going the other. So MP just continues to work itself out over here.
They get to be strong while everything else in turn ends up weak. But I think, look, AMD today might be a good litmus, because if they're unable to hold, I'm looking at it in Germany, if they're unable to hold on to some of these gains after getting that headline, I think that could bode. It doesn't necessarily bode well. Again, this is a stock that went ham last week, and much like when Oracle had that crazy gap up and did the 30%, and then it was a sell-off from there, holding for a while, and this held its initial support, and then even on I don't want to call it doomsday, but that big market flush on Friday, it ends up holding a higher low, and then you bounce off that higher low on good news. So if you don't hold this today, that'd be a really bad sign for AMD. As we come back in, this is one at about 215. Seems to me like it would be relative strength play here. I don't know if I really love just stepping in at VWAP and all of this weakness, but AMD's that one with the positive news. And then, of course, the fact that it held out some of those key levels that I think even on some weakness might be a nice little potential dip buy. It's not much that I love to the long side today, but you look at things like MP, for obvious reasons, then AMD with that headline. This one looks like it could be a little bit different, so I want to give it a chance today.
All right, we'll get to Joe coming up here. He's got upgrades and downgrades, some options action to keep in mind once again this morning as well. Just real quick, I was just hearing AVGO moving back higher once again. There wasn't much reaction this morning to this from Broadcom. The initial move downside starting to get bought back up through 350. The move yesterday came early on, remember, right before the market actually got open, then we actually held quite higher, but gapping down here this morning back below 350, a couple of people talking about that. As mentioned, let's jump over to Joe, get some upgrades and downgrades.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Yes, let's take a look at some of the upgrades and downgrades, as well as some of the options activity, but first things first. At the top of our list this morning, we have DoorDash getting that price target raised by JP Morgan to $325, and then Fifth Third Bank by Stephens also getting that price target raised to $52. Both of them negative on the session there, guys. Now, Waterbridge by Johnson Rice getting it raised to $29. Pattern Group getting that raised by Evercore ISI to $19, and that's positive on the session, 1.5%. Now, PPG also getting it downgraded by Bank of America, lowering that price target to $129. Now, Waystar as well, too, guys, by Barclays, $50 is that target being lowered to, and Mosaic getting that price target lowered to $43 by Bank of America. And same with Sherwin-Williams, $368 is going to be that target there, guys. Now, as for some of the options activity, there's a lot going on yesterday, especially after Friday. So some contract rollovers. Tesla at that 450 strike price expiring this week. There was substantial volume there, 59,900 contracts, and still some open interest laying at that strike. That's going to be 29,000. So just look out as that's above the current price we're trading at, so that can act as a potential call wall. Now, as for Broadcom, we know that they were striking a deal with Sam Altman and company. Also, the volume there, 20,700, and the open interest, that's still relatively high with 9,120. That's going to be at that 360 strike price, once again expiring this week. Now, KWEB, the China ETF, Internet ETF, there's substantial volume on that $43 strike price with 40,000 contracts and volume around 8,000. That's interesting. I think a lot of these levels can act as potential call walls. Look out for those levels to come into play, guys.
Yeah, Tesla's one that, I mean, I don't know if it gets 450. It's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen. Certainly today. It's only Tuesday, but this is one that stands out, at least for myself. Down a couple of points, so it's weaker than the rest of the market already, and you've got obvious resistance the last few days. Like anytime you can see, 1 day, almost two, 3, the 435, the 440 area. That was one of those, okay, well, if we get up there, it's kind of an easy short, but favor the shorts today as long as it's underneath that price. So if we get all the way up to 35 to 40, looking for a bit of a fade play there. Later in the week, I think that 450 becomes more important. And certainly the other way to play this is to simply look at that prior support down here, 426. Like 426, 426, a little bit of a breakaway at that same price, and it's a pre-market high. Gives a couple of places to look for a fade early on in Tesla on some relative weakness. It's always in play, but maybe later on that week we care about the 450. I'm looking a couple other places today for the key short price on Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla's interesting. I mean, it wasn't really doing too much in the last couple of days as far as the news stories are concerned. But you know what? When you were gone there, Ford broke out and then broke down.
Ford.
So yeah, I don't think Randy's here today. I've already asked for a little bit of a coffee again, but yeah, no, well, that's what I'm saying. It broke, and there's some sort of a fire in one of the in their supplier there. So Ford all the way back down in again for these car companies. I saw Chris outside, and he was like, "Oh my God, it's airline earnings and all this stuff," and he's so super excited about it. I don't know what fed Waller, is it Waller? No, Bowman. Right now, the market's gone all the way back up to the upside right here a little bit. So that's kind of good for what the market's been doing. I'm writing it down. The first trade of the day today. We were short yesterday with Joe. The TQs and yesterday was kind of like a wilder day coming in. We actually wind up to the top side there, so we were able to get out of this trade once it broke through that 102 area. But I kind of want to look at that area one more time here today. So I'm trying to fade any kind of pops right now. It looks like it's going to be 101 maybe where we start this party, but I'm still thinking pretty short heading into a pretty light day. I mean, we talked about Fed speak and bank earnings really haven't done anything with JP Morgan. I'm still not even sure JP Morgan even reported. Okay, now they're starting to move down, now down 1% there as well with decent volume, and it was Goldman Sachs the other way. Like yesterday's movement was not really led to the upside in the Nasdaq. There's still a lot of weakness in other sectors. The banking recently has been obviously really strong, but this little bit of a fade out here, we're gonna have to see if we hold the 50-period moving average. So long story short, if we lose tech, which we seem to be doing a little bit right now, I'm not super worried about it. I mean, Amazon down at 217. I think there's just a lot of good buy opportunities right now. But if you start to lose like some of the utilities, you start to lose some of the banks, then where we're really relying on are the high-flying names, right? We saw Big Bear AI get to $9. Okay, well, Big Bear AI still actually up. I thought Big Bear AI would fall down on a play like this today, but this is what I mean. Like a lot of our portfolios are being held up by some of these, more random stocks that we're trying to swing. So Big Bear AI, a nice little move today. Wow, over 3%. That's great. I actually thought we were going to pull back off that 850. So congratulations again to the Big Bear Army. As we already told you guys that we're stronger than you, Open Army, right now. And there it is, man. Now who has a better price right now? They're probably about the same, $9 each. Oh no, Open down to 7. Down. Oh, I didn't even see what happened to Open. I don't mean to make fun of Open Door. I mean, I think Open Door's had a huge run, but you know, the Army is in another spot right now. Open Door right at that 7 is actually pretty interesting. I didn't realize we were down here, so that's a pretty good spot here for Open Door. So I might even add this to the list today. I'd add it to a short, because like we're breaking down below right now. A short maybe into 6 and then look for a bounce. We're gonna have to wait to see what happens on this support here for Open Door, but yeah, look, it's 8:55 right now. No guests or anything here today. I think Raheem maybe is tomorrow.
But we do have, well, today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, so Raheem should be, Raheem should be tomorrow. But we do have a super chat, so good morning from Austin, Texas. Yeah. I'm not too sure, but we have that right there. Day Trader LA, thank you for the super chat.
You used that thing? Oh, good for you.
What? I didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't do it. Oh, Andre did it.
So we can do that?
Yeah, we can do that, man. We've had that ability when you were here too, I think. It's a thing that.
So you know what? I don't have the link up. That's why.
Yeah. No, I know.
We can do that too.
I never use it. I still pull down the chat, so that's why.
I do the same.
What was the super chat? We missed it.
It was Day Trade. Here we go.
Oh yeah. Now we're going back to
there.
Yeah, use it on there. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, that's
Austin,
it.
Texas.
Da Yankees lose.
Oh my God! I told Rebecca the one thing that I missed the most, because I 100% was gonna open the show with Yankee lose. Yeah. But anyways. What are you?
Oh, okay, Day Trader LA.
What are you gonna do? What's he saying?
Oh shoot, I did this again. Oh, I'm not supposed to pull this up. Put it back, Andre. Come on, man. What do you mean? Hope there's fish on the menu today. Come on, Day Trader LA. Come on, man. Thanks for the $50.
I had the worst fish.
Oh, you had bad fish?
No, I was at the one of the meals that I got. Let's just say was like the worst fish ever.
Oh God, but it wasn't tilapia.
I don't know. Like, this is the whole. I didn't know what it was.
Maybe it was some nasty.
I couldn't tell you what fish it was.
Okay, I'm gonna look. Should I look at the menu?
What now? It's 8:56. You look at the menu already?
Well, because of the super chat.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, it's fine.
All right, let's go back to the desk and we'll make a decision on the what's for lunch.
Adair and I were just discussing top pizza choices in Toronto. Domino's, for me anyways, Domino's definitely not one of those, but it's worth noting $420 trying to hold here, 420 on the daily chart, a bit of a level, 400, a bigger one obviously for DPZ, but just reading some comments here. It looks like the call is on right now, the earnings call for Domino's, but overall, not a bad report.
Yeah, no, I mean, not a bad report for Domino's. It is one that does a little bit less volume here, which is why it wasn't on our watch list this morning. But yeah, I mean, DPZ, decent move, and actually maybe more of a move than some of these bank stocks too. I do want to let you guys know as well, another earnings play on watch, Johnson & Johnson too is what to keep an eye on, and they actually raised their sales guidance, and they're considering separating their orthopedics business. So lots of earnings plays outside of the bank world too to keep an eye on. Albertson actually capped up as well. So there's in the grocery space. Yeah, maybe bigger moves are not in banks today.
I was actually anticipating Domino's to be a little bit more negative. I mean, some of the comments were cautious to almost negative in general, saying they're seeing and anticipating more consumer slowdown and demand slowdown coming on individual store basis, but as Adair was just saying, big $400+ stock here, guys. Thoughts on Domino's today?
Well, my first thought is if you buy Papa John's, maybe they get bought, and you get some
I do
juice.
prefer Papa John's over
Domino's. I mean, I prefer the stock as well, but at least for Domino's, you know, we're supposed to say something. Let's say something nice. It held $400. So you have a nice double bottom. It's trying to reverse the trend. That's good. It's above 420. That's always a good sign. So I mean, it's not doing a heck of a lot of volume, but sort of what I was getting at is if you look at pizza, Papa John's, like there's some deal speculation here with Papa John's. And again, you have a stock which is made a higher low. It's just a better looking chart, maybe some stabilization coming in. I think this would be one that I'd prefer to maybe buy dips on support, because you have the overhang of maybe in the next couple of days, you end up getting a deal. And maybe it's, you know, who knows what the price could be. It could be 50, it could be 55, like whatever it ends up being. At least you would have something to shoot for. So yeah, that's the one I would prefer. Oh, nice.
Yeah, here we go. No, this is just a little, great. It's just a grade 8 project here. So Animal Cell, I don't know what these things are called, science fair thing.
Science fair, that's what it is.
Yeah, so he just had, so this weekend we went to Michael's, their craft store, bought this little styrofoam thing, he painted it, and then we spent too much money on getting these little, we could have just got construction paper, but for some reason we got like this other kind of paper. They're plasticine, and then not the greatest. He woke up today and glued all these things on, but I'm noticing, oh, there's his name, oh, Barron. Yeah, okay, nice.
Yeah, he's got
but anyways, yeah, better gluing needs to be done there. So
it's about the model, though.
Yeah, I said to Marissa, I was like, oh, thank you, Rob. Wow. Cheers. Thank you, Rob, for that one.
Oh, even in the cool mug.
Yeah, here, cheers. We got the cool mugs today.
What mug is that?
I don't know what mug this is.
I've never seen that one before.
Randy must be sick as well, you know. But there we go, Animal Cell model. So anyways, yeah, shout out to that. So very proud of him. They had a 4-day weekend, you know, and they had a PA day or whatever they call that on Professional Development Day on Friday, and then they had, the weekend, and then they had Monday off. But man, he was just procrastinating that thing the whole time. It was like, he finished it today, this morning. Like, we had 4-day weekend. All you had to do was put that together.
You know you did the same thing, just like we all did. It's a rite of passage learning to properly procrastinate in school. You got it done, and it looks great.
Look, I just got an offer in my pool here, Hampton for Brock Bowers. The thing is, I can't do that. Not in our league. I mean, in the other league. It's not. Hampton's not bad there, but Vidal went crazy. I know it's not his job, but this last week there. Shout out to the Chargers. I think the Chargers, oh, by the way, your Bills, dude, honestly, so they have 4 wins. You know, those 4 wins, the combined record of the teams that they beat are 3-21.
I have some. I have some words for the coaching and
the only good teams they played, they've lost to, man.
Yeah, but there's
no. But I'm just worried about the defense. I still want the Bills to. I still feel like if Josh Allen has the ball, they're scoring.
Yeah, but the offense.
I'm worried about the defense.
The offense play calling is a problem.
Oh, the offensive play calling?
Yeah.
I don't think they use James Cook enough, but
no, their best. Look, at the end of the day,
they don't run the ball enough.
Yesterday, the most effective thing they had was the running game. And then for some reason, they just were not leaning on it enough.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any protection plan for the pressure they were getting. They were getting blitzed, and they had no plan for the blitz.
One linebacker dropped it pretty easy. I thought it was going to be
he dropped the pick
the other way there.
No, they're not
That's football, right? That
they're
happens,
not playing good
but
ball
it's
right
just
now.
like the fact that they're not first in the AFC East is...
it's a joke.
Yeah. Anyways, Patriots look nice, man. Drake May season is here. Bill Belichick, man, what a guy. The guy takes all that money to go to North Carolina, and then North Carolina, I don't think they're doing anything.
He's not
now
no
one's even talking.
He's not going to last long.
No one's even talking about him.
He'll be out after this.
Yeah, no, but he signed a monster deal.
He'll be out.
I get, well.
Belichick's he's not built for college.
I don't know. Plus, I don't think he should be coaching anymore.
I know we're going to get back to stocks and quickly.
He's got other things on his mind.
You can't.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't have what's going on with him around some college kids and not think that's going to be not weird in the locker room. I'm just saying.
I can't believe they did that.
I'm just saying. But yeah, let's go back up to the desk and maybe get into the watch. There's a lot to look at today. But to get back to what we were talking about before, everything about Papa John's is better than Domino's. Stock and
the pizza. And I like the fact that they give a little, they give that pepper that they come in with it, like a little peppercini, and then they also give the dipping sauce. But anyways, I don't know. You put the poll up then, fine. Go for it.
What poll? We don't need a poll for that.
Joseph.
We don't need a poll for that.
Joseph had a great opportunity, by the way, to have pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving. Of course, didn't have it. All right. Let's go back over to this. 9:03. Bank season's here. You wouldn't be able to tell, but it's here. Banks starting to go to the downside. Market trying to rally back now, only down 1%. Look, the Nasdaq was up 2.5% yesterday, 2.25% yesterday. So being down 1%, not the end of the world. But I'm still looking short. Let's go over and start doing our recap.
As always, if you haven't done so yet, ton to know, a ton to be aware of today. Grab the free watch list if you haven't done so yet. Link is below. Top link, in fact, in the description. We'll get you to the sign up page. You need your email, and then it just shows up magically every single day before we come on at 8:30. We do your homework for you. Worth noting as well, Sharif is putting out his note this morning also, so check the posts page if you are signed up for that. Oracle and AMD. More on the AMD side than Oracle. We'll talk about both. Oracle to launch first public AI supercluster, which will include 50,000 AMD GPUs out this morning here. about right then and there. 213 gets taken out. Nice pop here back to green for AMD.
Yeah, and I think this is another part of what we talk about, that circular revenue, right? We know last week AMD and OpenAI announced a deal. OpenAI and Oracle also have their own 5-year partnership. Now, how does this AMD deal fit in? Well, apparently this is, again, just another push here. As you can see from this infographic, AMD has really been lagging behind Nvidia, and I think now they're trying to step up that competition. Oracle specifically saying here that they think their customers are going to really enjoy AMD specifically for inferencing. Now, it is also worth mentioning, apparently these Instinct MI 450 chips, which are going to be used by Oracle, are AMD's first AI chips that can actually be assembled into a larger rack size system. So interesting look here. Apparently necessary for advanced AI. Let's see how these customers take to it, but good luck.
Yeah, worth noting, we are coming back in here for AMD. Currently, overall, the market trying to leak a little bit back to the downside as well. A lot of people talking about yesterday as a rebound day for the market after Friday. Kind of seems like it was more like a pause and then potentially a resumption here, maybe to the downside. AMD or Oracle, Sean?
Or me. No, yeah, AMD. Like, I think obviously, here, we can look at Oracle. We've looked at AMD once already. But if you look at Oracle on this, it's down a point at the end of the day. The good news, hold that 300 level. But I just feel like AMD has that spike strength and volume going with it for the trade. Oracle's done only like less than 500,000 shares. So it's not really doing a ton of volume on it. Good that it's over the 300 level. And it's really stabilized since it had that crazy jump. And overall, it's got a nice rounded bottom, but it's still so much inside of a range. It's not a bad range, like $20 range in here, but over the course of 2 weeks, all it's done is big day, and then hold under 311, and then rounded top. So unless it's breaking out this top here, which is $8 away, it's just not that exciting over there. Whereas AMD, on the other hand, like AMD has some real chance for some continuation. I still am looking ideally off of the 215 area. That's either a breakout, close support, and then now positive news. So you get down there, that's the spot I'd look for a bit of a bounce, and the other spot is probably going to get determined really early whether it can hold VWAP. If we can't hold VWAP, then it's about the 215 level where I'd look for a bounce there on AMD. As that looks pretty strong in that combination. Oracle, I think, is going to be a stay away for me on Oracle, just not enough juice. And the 311 is so far away that maybe that's a later in the week thing.
All right. Yeah, so for me, I just want to look back at yesterday's close for AMD, really. I mean, if we can get something back here to 217, I think that's where that's where the 200 period moving average is. So if we can get something here right around there, I mean, that's where we closed. Seemed like a decent level there. Like I said, we were short yesterday, AMD, so it wound up working out quite well. That top is what we're trying to hold right now, 220. I'm feeling short today, so I want to wait. I mean, this is good news, right? So it's actually up. So what I mean by I'm feeling short is not necessarily that I want to go short AMD. I just think it does make a move down here if the market goes. I want to try it in and around 217. This is not going to be held through 215. Maybe I should actually lower this target into around 216.50 or so. But in this area, I don't mind trying the long. But the thing is, look where we were before that story. You know, and then boom, or the news, the news, I guess it's a factual thing. So nice move before that deal. So nice move up there on the Oracle play. I'd just be very weary of being trapped long today. And this would be a name that would trap you if you wait for it. So like, I'm not gonna let this thing just come all the way back in because there's a good story. So I'm gonna watch out for this 217. It's a 200 period moving average. It's also down here on the 5-minute chart. You know, you have the 50 period there. And then it just looks pretty decent down around 215 area. So yeah, between 215 and 217 for me is a hold for AMD. So that's what we're gonna do. And then even today, if we are gonna look real short in the chip space, unfortunately, I think it would be the big dog. With that, we don't have Nvidia talk, no. So I just think that this is something that if you're gonna fade, again, like if the market rips today, I'm gonna be short the futures. I don't know if I wanna be short Nvidia and the futures, but this would be a good little level here too, between 187 to 187.50. But I'd rather wait for this to come in than to mess around with a non-story. So let's wait to see what happens with advanced micro devices. We were on this yesterday. We'll be on it today. And we'll probably be on this for a minute here as we approach all-time highs again. I mean, we're not that far away here on AMD. I still feel like 230 is good enough if we can get back up to there. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. All right. Bank earnings. I named off all the banks and they were all wrong. So let's go find out which ones. I think I got one of them. BIC? No, they're not. No. We'll screw that one up as well. Oh, Wells Fargo. Yeah, but Brendan and Adara were yelling them in my ear. So, all right, let's go back over and find out more about the banks that actually reported.
Quickly first, SMCI just popping up here. Supermicro Computer launching a new data center building block solution line, offering end-to-end infrastructure from servers to liquid cooling and network power systems. So, came right back in, but I mean, that was a $3 wick to the upside there, as SMCI is known to do. So if anyone saw that, that's why. JP Morgan kind of grinding downside here. I mean, the earnings were absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Trading revenue specifically, absolutely monstrous. The one to maybe put a question mark beside is this one right now, as we said early on. Goldman Sachs, straight downside here, coming into Friday's lows after a nice bounce back here. As we see with bank earnings, yes, they kick off earnings season traditionally. The price action, not great.
Yeah, I would say Goldman Sachs right now probably the most interesting. I mean, given that it's a $700 ticker, it's down like 20 bucks. So that actually could be significant. Now, much like all the other banks that we've had report so far this morning, so JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and Goldman Sachs, Goldman did beat EPS and sales. They all did. But Goldman did have a slight miss when it comes to equities, trading revenue, and that is likely what pushed it a bit lower. We know with these banks, as I mentioned yesterday in the market recap, we're not just looking for EPS and sales beats. What we are looking for is net interest income and also equities trading revenue. So that was a bit of a miss for Goldman Sachs. But as you mentioned there, Brendan, the JP Morgan, I think, was the biggest winner. Banking fees, 15% year over year increase. Market revenue, 25% up year over year. Assets under management up 18% year over year. And the CFO really upbeat here during the conference call. Tomorrow morning, we get Morgan Stanley and Bank of America.
Real quick, Robinhood didn't really move on this, but Piper Sandler with a price target increase right now on Robinhood to 155 up from 140, maintaining their overweight. So positive note there for Hood. Couple days in a row here to the downside though, guys, for Hood. Thoughts on the banks?
I think, look, the one I like is going to be Wells Fargo today. You know, like we see this time and time again, right? Like every earnings season. You know, it's not like they always meet the expectations. You're going to beat top and bottom. We go ooh and ah about JP Morgan and how much money they print, and then, you know, the time to buy them doesn't necessarily happen to be at 9:30 in the morning on earnings day, oftentimes. You know, because if they were down, then it's probably made a bottom already. But I look at Wells as something where they make the beat, and then they're not breaking out any tops or anything like that, but back above the 50 period here, right? And you know, overall, you had a big-time supply zone right around 81 bucks last week. Not every single day last week, but last week. So as long as it can hold on to this, I think there is the continuation play. You hold on to 81, and then you're just looking for a play back into the mid-80s today and maybe a bit of continuation. So Wells up 3%, you know, in lieu of what's going on elsewhere, like JP Morgan down a point, but effectively flat and not really doing much. So it's going to be Wells Fargo today as the one to watch. And certainly, you know, if JP Morgan tends to dip and loses to 50, it's probably going to be a buy a few days after earnings. So you just wait for that one. But today, look at Wells.
Yeah, I think you want to go where the action is, right? So I would continue with the Wells Fargo. It's also a decent price. So, you know, maybe for share sizing and everything like that might be a little bit of a better opportunity. For me, I really think Goldman Sachs really is the cream of the crop when it comes to investment banking and really being able to carry the day here. We've had a bunch of IPOs this year, so I'm a little disappointed in this result. I would have thought with all the IPOs and everything like that, they would have been able to collect enough fees to sort of support this recent run that it's had, but obviously it wants to test now the 50-period moving average. I was thinking to myself this morning in the shower, actually, and I was thinking like, okay, because I woke up and wanted to throw up when I saw, you know, what was happening in the market. I said to myself, like, what would I buy if the market continued to fall down. And I actually thought about banks because I'm so overweighted, obviously, in tech names. And the only banks I own are SoFi and JP Morgan and some Canadian. But I was thinking that my next play might be in Goldman Sachs. So I think down in and around here, between like 700, if we can break through. And I knew that they were down, this morning and whatnot. But, with the market, a little bit surprised that it is down that 3%. I think a Goldman Sachs bid around $7 is something that I would not mind entertaining. So that would be something there. And then all the banks also, including JP Morgan, are all at 50-period moving averages right now. So you got to just make sure that you hold those levels. And I also don't think it's a horrible idea to trim some out here this morning on JP Morgan. I think what Neil was saying, you never really want to buy these stocks right off the open. Let's just see what winds up happening with them. And, the dominance of JP Morgan with some of those numbers that they put out, I mean, they are the true big-time player in this space, and they've always been. The world's largest bank will continue to be that way. It looks like they're not going anywhere, and I think they can continue to get stronger. So look at it yesterday, nothing ahead of this report. I'd be interesting to see what winds up happening if we get to 300 again. So that's what we're waiting for right here is JP Morgan. Oh.
Walmart.
Walmart partnering with OpenAI.
This just in, I'm partnering with OpenAI to...
Tradertv.live now partnering with OpenAI to deliver the greatest AI experience of your life. There it goes, man. If you just punch long Walmart on that story, you're now at $3 in the money. So there it goes, 104, 106.50. Who has any idea what they're even doing with OpenAI? But
nope.
Probably a website or, I don't know, maybe it's customer interaction. We'll get that story when it happens. But there goes Walmart back, it looks like, to all-time highs.
It just says AI-first shopping experiences. What is that like? Okay.
Well, I'm hearing that they're empowering their employees with AI power and training.
Like every company in the world.
All right, so if you're a part of Walmart, get ready to be chipped with an OpenAI chip so that you can just scan your wrist to figure out the prices of everything.
Sign me up.
And there comes Walmart right back down and now back into 104. So yeah, man, Aroni, you let us know in the chat there if you do have any opportunities to hook us up with OpenAI, because I feel we could have a great partnership there as well. But unfortunately, we are not a public company, so I don't know who would benefit from this at all, but let's go back over to the desk. OpenAI and Walmart giving us something to think about again.
Anyone else at this point? Adara?
Yeah,
you want to partner with OpenAI?
I think I'm okay. I'll politely decline, Sam Ullman. Right. But we'll see.
Here is IBIT. Let's talk some crypto here. The slide continues multiple days in a row here. Wasn't much of a bounce at all yesterday for the ETF anyway. If you go to Bitcoin itself, a little bit more stable looking on the 24-hour time frame, but here we are right back to lows pre-market for IBIT anyway.
Yeah, I think with Bitcoin specifically too, we did have maybe a bit of relief when we rallied nicely on Sunday and then relatively flat here on Monday after that big drop on Friday. Take a look at Ethereum as well, which looking a little bit similar, though unlike BTC, this low is a little bit farther from Friday's low. Like Bitcoin, we're quite close to that low that we made on Friday. So Ethereum may be a little bit stronger here. Now, it is worth noting, I mentioned this yesterday a couple times, but there was a very notable Bitcoin whale randomly opening a brand new wallet, making almost $200 million on that drop. So there's certainly some interesting things happening in the crypto space. Be careful, guys.
Still buying the dip in a big way. Big move for Coinbase. If you go all the way back to Friday with the overall market sell-off, we're back to that low as well. 340, guys, big time support for coin.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing I'm looking at Bitcoin right now because like on the 15-minute, liquidation was right into like 109, just right underneath 110, like 109.7-ish, right? So you've got a pretty hefty flat bottom break if we lose underneath 110. It's just, look, I'll be short if that happens, but even on any pop, like into 112, like back into some of these prior levels, into 112, into 113, I'd be looking for a fade play. So I'm favoring the short. I don't know if we break down underneath 110 today or it's like a later on this week kind of deal, but I'll be looking at IBIT specifically for that. So the levels, I mean, the levels sort of stand out. Obviously, 63.5 pre-market highs in here, fill in the gap, 64.5. And if we break down underneath that 110, then we're talking, all the way down here, down underneath that 62. So I'm favoring short the pop. So if we lose this 110 area, then it's just joining the short. I'll look at VWAP as well for trend the same way I would if this had been a long one, but I'm favoring the short side on Bitcoin. I understand it could bounce off that support fine, and that just makes me patient as to where I would short it.
All right, just getting the sticky note out right now. Okay, so just real quickly on Walmart still. I just wrote down fading this 107. If we can get back up to 107, I'm going to short Walmart. Like, I don't, until we find out more details about this crypto, there's going to be so much, sorry, I know we're talking about crypto, sorry, this OpenAI, this AI like craze at some point is not going to affect every stock in the way that we potentially think it should or it might. So I want to fade this. I don't really understand this play. If we get going off the open, I'm looking to short Walmart. That will be out very, very soon as well. Yeah, IBIT for me, I actually put it on here on a daily chart. Oops, IBIT.NQ here. On a daily chart, it's very, very close. $61 or so would be that breaking spot, which I guess is that 108 and change. That's the level that we're looking at to hold. The last time we had come down here into 108, the last two times, we had held both times. I mean, I could actually... I hope I have Bitcoin up. Here we go. We have Solana up right now. We'll talk all about, just because we're doing crypto right now, but if Bitcoin's the sort of the tail, the dog that wags the tail here in the space. So, the last couple times here for BTC that we've come in, it's held. So this is the key, very, very key level. I'm looking to potentially pick some more up. I talked about picking up some Ripple and whatnot over the weekend. This was a good little level right here for BTC, and that's exactly where we bounced a couple days ago. So I'm looking for 107. That's the 200 period on the daily. I trust it on stocks, and honestly, Bitcoin is just as much of a stock as anything else, it seems like, without earnings or anything that a stock actually has. It's been really trading quite well and quite technical, right? Back up to the tops, fell back in on, what is market worries. Now you're right back to the bottom, which we've supported a couple times now. So yeah, I like it here. I think eventually 100, maybe we see that at some point, but if you're starting a position or looking to average into something, I mean, the 200 period is never wrong on something that you like. But again, I think Neil and I, and we all say around here, like, just be careful about any sort of investment that you make. And crypto is not, shy of making huge moves. And sometimes it's overnight. So you got to watch out there with an IBIT trade. You won't be able to get out of it the same way that you would, potentially other stocks. I guess IBIT, here, Obi always trades Blue Ocean. Yeah. You can trade IBIT, okay. So there is still, depending on who your broker is, you may have access to IBIT shares.
But the weekend's still a problem.
Overnight, over on the weekend, yeah,
weekend's still a problem.
Weekend is a problem, but I was just sort of saying, like, over the next couple of days here, we should be able to use IBIT the same similarly to the coin itself. All right, 8 more minutes and we're open, man. Glad to have Neil back. We're ready to rock and roll. Let's go get the next couple of stories here. CRM, and AI.
Anyone watching Citigroup or any of the banks, maybe just a heads up, Citigroup conference call still on, CFO just saying they have no exposure currently to widely reported, quote unquote, distressed names. So just be careful if you're paying attention to any of the banks currently. Walmart coming right back in. I just read through this. I don't really see anything as far as detail goes other than Walmart through ChatGPT, or you can shop on Walmart now through ChatGPT using something called instant checkout. How they're going to combine those two, who knows? So happy shopping, I guess, with ChatGPT on via Walmart. Let's go on to CRM. As we mentioned, one of the names also with an AI tie here today.
Yeah, and it's weird. They're kind of like working with competitors here, Brendan, because they announced deals with Anthropic and OpenAI at the same time, all released via press releases at 8 a.m. So they're going to be apparently expanding their existing strategic partnership with Anthropic here to deliver trusted AI for regulated industries. Now, their work with their work with OpenAI seems to be more about enterprise work. So basically, OpenAI and Salesforce could be partnering up here to allow companies to access their Agentforce 360 platform through GPT. So if you're on ChatGPT, you're able to access Agentforce 360 from Salesforce. Now, the other aspect of this, specifically with regards to Salesforce and OpenAI, is they're doing a partnership with Stripe, too. So CRM is now going to have the instant checkout integration. It seems kind of similar to the Walmart platform. Maybe keep an eye out for more potential deals here because OpenAI seems very busy this morning.
Yeah, it might be the norm coming up for ChatGPT users in the near future here. Stronger than most, guys, right now for CRM.
This is a little more like it. I don't know how positively I feel about these OpenAI deals this morning, but at least in this particular case, if you take a step back and look at CRM from a purely technical standpoint, it feels like a good bottom has been put in. The 230 level, I've been pretty sure even when I was back a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about 230 having held, and now you have the close consolidation over the 50-period moving average. So that's good, and breaking out above would be that 51 today. I'm still going to favor AMD and then IBIT and MP Materials and Tesla overall. But I think CRM might just be a close above 250, and this is another shot at the swing long. If you didn't like that 230 level, anyways. So this could be a nice VWAP play, maybe if you like low volume stocks. It's done 1/3 of a million shares, not necessarily my cup of tea, but I do like this in terms of where it's setting up. Closing above this 250, or at least even in the green, sets it up really well for a swing setup, and that maybe has it stand apart from some of these other companies getting these headlines.
Yeah, look, I was thinking about Salesforce. First of all, we just got the imbalances coming out, so let me just call this up real quickly. Right now, we talked about Beyond Meat yesterday, got really smoked. We'll have to watch to see if this thing breaks through $1 here today. So back to the upside there, so we can watch out for Beyond Meat there. BBAI continues to rock and roll as well. There's your CRML. So these are just imbalances that are going to affect the opening prints a little bit here. They're not really any significant numbers. USAR as well, just names that we've been talking about. Broadcom gets that huge deal yesterday, so that's 350. That was a key level as well. That should have been maybe something that was on the sticky note. And there's Tilray there. Yeah, look, I mean, Neil just nailed the levels there on Salesforce. There's really, it looks like it wants to break out. I think this is a good story. And yeah, I mean, Agent Force is supposed to be their next big thing. It really hasn't accrued to anything in the stock. If anything, they were one of the leaders in AI. I mean, that's what sort of everyone was using their management software for, was the fact that it was just easier to, contact and get a hold of and manage. And so I was really thinking that they would have been one of the leaders in AI. So yeah, maybe they are, and maybe they're clearly not stock price wise, but maybe those of you that are using Salesforce, I know it's a little bit more expensive. There's HubSpot, and there is different competition now for them, but you are now above the 50 period and looking to get going here in what is, I think, a weak tape today. It's nice to see Salesforce up 0.6. So for me, I go long on Salesforce. I mean, I like the stock. I'm a shareholder, and we're just going to hold it to wait to see what eventually winds up happening with CRM.
Here before we get to the open this morning, rare earths back to the upside. These things have been monsters over the past week and change. AREC, I just did a quick run through here. AREC, probably CRML, the two strongest looking ones right now this morning, $30, holding nicely here twice in the pre-market for CRML. I mean, there's MP, TMQ, a ton of them.
Yeah, I think CRML here with catalysts as well, certainly on watch. Yesterday, they had kind of a convoluted catalyst with regards to a company apparently set to join them on their Canterbury's project, but then they released this press release right at 8:30 a.m. just saying that they were expecting the company to become more critical. Looks like this pun was intended on their part because I guess there's more proposed funding from the U.S. government, which they're expecting to help accelerate their growth. Kind of a random nothing burger press release perhaps, but I think with the positive catalysts in this space, CRML is certainly something to watch out for today.
A ton of volume behind these moves this morning as well in the pre-market, guys, for most of these right now.
Yeah, you can't get above VWAP though. CMRL just lost VWAP with big resistance at 32. So look at the barcode here. If you don't, when you're a seller like that, going into the open on a gap up play, if you can't break that out, I'm usually thinking it's going to fill in the gap. So in a pivot, MP is already sort of losing that. 95 to 98 would be the support zone from yesterday in the afternoon. I feel like that's the one I'll look at first out of the rare earth plays. And as Sean said, you do have some of those imbalances coming in there. I actually didn't realize what happened to Beyond Meat yesterday.
Yeah, there was some sort of a
So I gotta look at that dollar level myself, but it is now gone off the locator. You're going to see Archer there for 350,000 sell, Neil there 400,000 sell, BBAI 300,000 to buy, but that imbalance on Beyond Meat is now gone.
All right, so I'm looking at, just to go over some trades, we just put the sticky note out right now. It is out now on X, so I apologize for it to be a little bit late working on it today. TQs, AMD, Walmart, Amazon. So I'm going to go short both these retail plays. I don't understand how this will expand the PE of Walmart, so I'm going to go to the downside there. Like, I don't know what that deal with OpenAI exactly does for them. I'm watching Amazon weakness. We had Amazon yesterday at 222, 220 yesterday. Now it's at 217. So we had the short yesterday. Can't hold overnight. And then I like the market. And I like the AMD long. We talked about that into yesterday's close. And I wrote down quite a wide area for them. I wrote down I wrote down 101, I believe, for the TQs. Yeah, so I don't know if we're going to get there. But yesterday, Joe and I were shorting this name off the open, and it just went up basically $3. So there is a potential here. I'm only waiting for this thing to go up $2 before we short the Nasdaq. So that's going to be a play for me. AMD should fall into that 215, 217 area. I think we'll try it around 217 first. And yeah, the Amazon fade is just a break basically through 220 there. It's been actually getting hit pretty aggressively here in the pre. So I don't really, when I had thought about this, it was all the way up here. So yeah, now I write down that as the short. So if we can get back into these levels, we're shorting on Amazon.
Yeah, weak on that. I mean, if you think about it, because if it's going to be positive for Walmart, down for them. But OGen bringing you the opening bell for this Tuesday. Check them out on the NYSE. Let's ring it in 2 and 1. Let's go. And I'm like you. AMD certainly a first look here. I don't know if we're going to get that. It's at VWAP right now, but that 215 is what I'm going to be staring down. IBIT, I don't know if it's not much of a breakdown at the open, but still under VWAP. The first test for me is, can it get into that pre-market high for a bit of a fade? And not much happening too crazy off of the open. Thought maybe you get some more action there at AMD specifically.
Yeah, Amazon's the one right now for me that's starting to hit the skids a little bit here, down to 214 right now and extending its losses. So not getting the bump up for your boy right now. We'll wait to see what's going on. Walmart was the play that maybe might go. But yeah, off of nothing off open right here. So just kind of just chilling out. We will put an order up there at 107 just in case that does come through. So great to have Neil back here today. We've got Obi and Joe on the midday show as well. A name that we didn't talk about at all. I don't think we mentioned it too much yesterday either. Palantir. They were up nicely there, up 0.7. We'll see if they can continue higher here. The Nasdaq's just trying to figure itself out right now. It doesn't look like Walmart wants to do anything, or Palantir, or even the market per se. The TQ is still hovering around.
Nvidia's falling a bit.
Oh, Nvidia's falling. Yeah, so we need to get it. CRML. Maybe it is time just to go over to some of these rare earth plays.
Man, Nvidia's this is what happens. Like, you're thinking AMD is going to be something, and then the biggest move off the open on the chip names, $2 down on Nvidia here, breaking low of the day. But AMD's going in the other direction. So it might not end up being that 215 after all if it's just going to straight up hold the volume weighted average price. If we close above VWAP, I'm taking the shot up there on AMD, and then 215 can just be something else there. So strength in AMD, a little bit of weakness. I'd say decent amount of weakness over in Nvidia, breaking the low of the day. That is absolutely a short. I liked it at 189.90. That was never going to be a thing, apparently, on that stock. So yeah, the Nasdaq's not doing much. We got a couple chip names going in opposite directions here between the big two, Nvidia and AMD.
A little worried about, I don't know, I was looking, I mean, you don't need, I'm always anxious to get into something, but I don't, like today there's not really, like by the time this was here yesterday, we had already sort of started our short, but right now the market's coming back in. So the only thing that I'm looking at right now, what about a 36 here on Intel? I'm gonna try to get a little short here. Oh, we just offered and then it just went down a little bit there. So we'll have to punch. So there we go, we get some 80s. What did I get there? 80s, okay, so not bad. We're gonna wait to get a little bit more. I'm not partly filled up there. We're gonna wait for 35.83, which is where we initially offered. Okay, so I was just gonna give it up to this little break area here. If the market is, look, it could get stronger and come bounce back up, but it's down 4% here, Intel. Let's just wait to see what winds up happening right now. I'm gonna try, it could be an early loss for this. We can let our, our emotions, take care here, not get too excited. But we're gonna watch out for 36 break. That's where VWAP is for Intel, so I don't mind shorting on this name. But yeah, right here, right now, not bad. Let's get a little bit more in case it does do that little pop up again. Oh, AMD's down to 217. Okay, so now we have our AMD long that we called off of our levels. So there it goes, man. AMD right now, 30 cents in the money. Let's see if we can get it out. Right now, AMD, 60 cents in the money. And there's a couple outs for us right there. So, hey, man, it's coming in again. We said it, man. We're glad to have Neil back. We're getting that juju right now. Let's go. There goes AMD right now, man, off of our posted levels again. So it's a nice $1.50 now in the money for AMD to start the day. And Intel, we'll see where that one goes.
Yeah, good look on AMD. I finally got to VWAP here on IBIT. Is the market's doing the same thing as Bitcoin. So let's just try to respect what's going on right here. We just jumped right into the volume weighted average price, shorted it underneath, just as the Nasdaq does pretty much the same thing.
Bye.
Dipped to VWAP and heading back into low. So I want the low of the day here. We're about halfway. And if we break the low, I want to hold through. Look for places to add. So the only short we got on is going to be that IBIT after all. And wow, Nvidia, I have to go to Nvidia for you guys. Nvidia is really dropping here. Now down 3.5% and still cratering. This stock it's not nice. I guess positivity for AMD, negativity here for Nvidia. Yeah, there goes Bitcoin as well. We're about to hit that. Just hit that opening low, 62.25 is going to be the next target. And then you're really just talking about 110 altogether on Bitcoin in general. So IBIT heading to the downside, market heading down, led by Nvidia, dragging everybody down.
Yes. All right, well, we got two plays on, and they're in opposite positions. Our first position was Intel. We said our shutdown on this trade was 20 cents. 50 cents in the money. There goes Intel. Nice move to the downside. We still got a piece on, a decent piece on. So we're happy for that one. But most of our outs, we're out of just under half. I'm going to get out of some more here. As Neil had mentioned, though, the whole market seems to be taking a little southbound ride right now. And we don't want to give back what we've made, obviously. Oh, sorry, I'm not even on the right stock. On Intel, on AMD. So there's a couple outs there on AMD. As we said, we wrote down between 215 to 217, so we do know that it is going to be a little bit of a violent play. But here it is, man. I mean, we've made our day already. It's 9. And I was talking with the guys that trade the pool, too, and they really appreciated, that kind of talking. The day is now made right there, because we talk about being at a prop floor and using other people's money and this and that. And it's like a lot of traders are trading to hit certain levels so they can either, get funded or just as a part-time job hitting certain levels. So right there, we've got it already today on Intel and on AMD. But AMD right now is falling back in. So down into 216. I'll still try to buy some of this, but remember, we were really biased short. So the fact that we've got Intel is a banger. I mean, only at $35, really able to take advantage of the amount of shares that we put on right there. But it's AMD that's coming back. So we'll have to wait to see. Powell speaking at noon. So those of you that are waiting for that,
that's all we have these days.
A little bit of time coming up.
All we got these days is Fed speak, because we don't get economic numbers. Thank you to the government shutdown, which we didn't even mention, is still ongoing. This Nvidia, if Nvidia catches a bid, I think that's going to be a good spot to maybe take off some shorts if you got them, or at least find some spots to take some profit. There's the low of the day on IBIT. It's pretty much at 110 right now. Bitcoin 110.2, and ETH is at 39. So there's Bitcoin effectively looking for the bounce off the 110 level, and maybe a re-short back in at that volume weighted average price. If you're, like I said, if you're looking for strength in today's market, I really don't know where you're finding it. Holler at me if you see something as strong. MP Materials said do not pass go, do not collect anything but downside. 5% down and falling and continuing to fall. And then right off the open, all it did is drop. So you don't have relative strength in this name or CMRL either. So a little bit of weakness going on there. Again,
Boy.
Just one short here for me. Thankfully working out very, very nicely. But yeah, not a lot of strength anywhere.
No, the only strength, we've just been buying dips in AMD, and it's not that it's overly strong. We just got a 216, so that's another $1 right now on this. So now we're in a day and a half worth of profits. So far, so good there. And then there goes, I'm just trying to get a little bit more out of AMD. I mean, I still really like the stock. I think there's a great opportunity for this thing to just absolutely rip back to the high side. So let's get something out. If we can get into the 50s again on this and just break through, and then, if we can get back up to VWAP, that'll be pretty, okay. All right. hydration nation, just make sure everybody just has some water right there. Now we're at 2 times because it's really this name right here that we put on as our very first position. We have multiple fills. We were actually waiting to get some more fills. We did take this against us a little bit, but this is really what's starting to pump through on the good old P&L here. And then it's $2 on AMD. So yeah, man, glad to have Neil back. Glad to put these winners back on right there for you. We, no vision, no problem, as here goes AMD, $2 in the money. And it's exactly what we wrote down. We wrote down between 215 to 217. I mean, these are the levels that I'm taking long, 217 and 216. And then there's a nice upside play. Intel just kind of came out of nowhere, man. We know this stock is kind of hot garbage, so we were going to short it anyways. And this was the only one that was kind of hovering around VWAP off the open. So we'll wait to see. I mean, look, we've made good money off Intel in the account, in the PA, but I just don't know about this name. I think if you're talking about overblown AI hype, I mean, Intel would be right near the top with some of these deals that they've recently made. But there goes AMD, $3 now. So we're $4 net in the money, but great trade there on IBIT as that's hovering around that 110.
It just held the 110 level, unfortunately. Well, I mean, fortunately for anyone that's going to be long, I'm going to hold on to the last piece for the volume-weighted average price. Let it break, instead of hold through the low of the day, so that's going to be the plan of action. If the market is strong enough to get this back through VWAP, congratulations to the market. But that's CRML, critical metals.
Yep.
Critical metals hits bounce off 25. It's still up technically because it's up 18% on that gap up, pulls right into prior highs and trying to screen back. So if this can go, MP can't even get to 95. No, throw out MP. Forget about that. Like MP needed to hold on to 95. There was never a bid there, so I'm not even messing around with it. It might just be Tesla. Favoring short on Tesla, obviously it never got anywhere near the 35 level or the 30 level to play it. But if we bounce into the volume-weighted average price, this could be one to join. So again, I like some shorts, but I thought there might have been some pops that we could take advantage of. Don't forget that the banks reported, and the strongest of all of them, and you can probably trade it tonight on Blue Ocean, which is what I'm looking at right now as my chart is stuck on Blue Ocean. Thank you, Wells Fargo.
Oh, God.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh, there we go. Now it's finally good. No, Wells Fargo, the strongest of all of the bank's earnings. That's the only one that I was really even considering to the long side. It's trying to hold that 81 level that we liked. Underneath VWAP, fine for a bit, but now holding the volume-weighted average price. So this one seems like it can be good to go here. I'll take my first shot. If it can close above VWAP, I'll go long here. Never really got too much of a test since the open of that $81 level. Beat across the board, but then all the banks beat across the board and it still didn't do much.
Yeah, we're. I want to thank everybody for your comments in the chat. It's very kind of you all. But AMD still continues to work out. I think we got we had Mitch here yesterday. He was like, don't worry about your winners, worry about your losers. Well, today it's Intel and it's AMD, and that's it. So today we're not worrying about too much. I was going to think about getting something out if AMD or if Intel ripped back up through 35.60. So let's just put an out there, 35.61 or so for right now, and we'll try to get out of 75% of it, what we have left, if that starts to get carried away for us. And then the same kind of thing here on AMD. We've already emptied out the clip at 219. I mean, we were here doing it for you. So right now we have about, if I could do the math on all the shares that we have left, we have about 14 to 15% left on this trade. I'm actually going to exit stage left of another piece right here at 60 if we can get it, because the market's pulling. I mean, this is exactly what we wrote down. Everything on here is a short, man. Amazon, everything besides AMD. So including the market. Isn't it funny, Joe? Yesterday, the market, you weren't here, Neil, but yesterday we were fading the short and it just went the opposite way. So maybe this is a long down here because we've seemed to turn ourselves around 9:45. But wow, there goes Intel right now cracking. What just happened to Intel? This is a bad move right there. What's up, Adara?
I'll look into Intel here, but I want to mention BLK, BlackRock. I'm not seeing anything here in Intel, guys, for news. BLK, not a day trader, but I think worth noting either way because of what the catalyst is. Apparently on their call here, CEO Larry Fink is saying that, quote, we are all just starting to tokenize all assets, including real estate, stocks, and bonds. Keep an eye maybe in some of these crypto plays, specifically Robinhood with regards to the tokenization aspect of things. Now, again, guys, a reminder, we don't have any economic data today at 9:45 or 10. But we will get Fed Chair Powell at 12:20 p.m. along with Fed's Waller and Collins closer to the close. Back to you.
It is all Fed all day. Wow, so much for Tesla bounce.
Oh, no.
Tesla bounced like $2 and looked like it was headed back into the volume weighted average price. No, right back into low of the day. It just feels like it's only going to be shorts. Wow, okay, and you just spiked right through the low and breaking down heavily. I thought we were catching a bid on Nvidia. Oh, goodness, Nvidia.
Nice.
Yeah, Nvidia down right back to that 180 level. So you're not going to find any strength over here.
180?
Nvidia. Yeah,
Okay,
it just broke $180 on Nvidia. One thing I have concern about is if we break this low everywhere else, Nasdaq broke the low, Nvidia broke the low, Tesla broke the low, like everything is breaking down, but Bitcoin just held 110 again. So if it's going to continue, that's a bottoming tail candle. If it holds out this 110 level on Bitcoin, IBIT it's about 62.5, and I got to respect it. And then the move is 63 to 62.5. I'll take it out and then move on to the next. Maybe ETH is going to be a better short. I want to check to see if it's got more weakness. No, same thing. Like they're both weak, but not falling all over themselves. It's Nvidia that I got to watch that 180. If this holds 180, then you might get a relief rally. But this might be the litmus test right here because as Nvidia goes, obviously the Nasdaq is going to go as well.
All right, yeah, good talk on Nvidia there. We have Intel, and right now Intel is $1. We're $3 in the money right now just on these two trades. I mean, and we still have actually a decent part. I still have 25%. So for me, that's another one as we put some dollars on right there. Now we have $3, and it's too bad that I didn't believe in this reload right there. So let me get another piece out right here in the 60s if we can for advanced micro devices. All right. So I was saying Open Door was potentially a short now that we've broken through that 7 area, but we didn't actually break through it at all. When we looked at it, it was right here at 699, and there in this nice little upside play. So maybe Open Door is at this level that we had discussed before, and that was $7. So a nice little hold here of Open Door gets you probably to where you need to go. So we'll wait on Open Door, like back up here, 7 or 8 or 9. Like I think we can get to 850 again on Open Door. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. I wonder about buying this right here on market weakness today with the Nasdaq down almost 2% and Open Door basically up on the day. I think if you can hold out for this breaking 675, and if it doesn't, then oh boy, do you have yourself a trade on your hands there with Open Door. Let me see what my army's doing. Maybe we're waving the white flag a little bit here. BBAI still up today, up 1.3%, but did make that move back into that 850. Great to hold that level. 850 was a spot that we were somewhat concerned about in this space on this name because it had dropped off of 850 a couple times, but today we hold it on the other side of things. So, all right, I don't know. Like I said, maybe yesterday we saw a monster. Wow, now AMD is $4, man. We are really taking off now on advanced micro devices. So there it goes, man. We actually made, and I'm pretty proud of this, we made more money on Intel than we did on advanced micro devices, but that little move up just there does put us now into a decent little spot. But the stocks are starting to get back upside now. So I'm going to get out a little bit more of Intel here, understanding that maybe we're buying it a little bit high. I have a 97 bid that just got filled there as well. So we're getting less and less in this space, but it's been a great morning. Again, it's great to have Neil back there. I just jumped out break even at VWAP on IBIT. We just got through 111. So essentially, effectively, think of it like 111 to 110, and then now you're heading back to the upside. So if you get to it'd be like 111.5 on Bitcoin, call it 63.5. That'd be the next spot. At least I'd be remotely interested in trying to grab it. But I'm still looking at Tesla here as relatively weak. They got that 420 level that it can't seem to break out. And if it can't get to VWAP, down in here is going to make some sense. I only want to be short this name. So I think at least early on, let's take these bounces as opportunities to try to get in. So 420, we always know 420 is a bit big of a wipe thing, down again
here with this stock. So let's see if this one can get going. Bitcoin, if it ends up holding VWAP underneath, I can just jump back into that trade. I'm only looking short Bitcoin today. You know, never really liked any of those longs. You'd have to be really breaking out the top to try a long in Bitcoin for myself. Keep an eye on MP if you still like them. I'm not really too concerned with this unless it gets through 95. We get through 95, and then I'll go back over to thinking longs in MP material. But we'll get back into BTC potentially. It's Tesla that's got my attention now. Oh, that just went right to 420, and there's a refresher at 420.
Oh my God, puff, puff, pass. Look what we just did on AMD. We just got long down there at 216. Let me see what the fill was. 216.70. It's at this was like, we're making dollars in a matter of seconds here on this stock. AMD is just the gift that keeps on giving off of the levels that we posted. So it's really nice when these things really do start to work out. Again, check Neil's positions, check my positions. We're all at the bottom. I want to thank everybody for joining. I want to thank Joe and Obi for all the filling in that they had done while Neil was away. But right now, we do want to thank one of our major sponsors, and of course, that's Global X. Beta Pro by Global X Canada is Canada's largest provider of levered, inverse, and inverse levered ETFs. They have also launched 6 new triple levered ETFs that we keep talking about, the 3x bull and bear exposure. You have the TSX 60, semiconductors, and even US Treasuries. And they're right now offering you AMD, offering you 65 basis points. Their fee rebate now, not fee rebate, management fees are just dropped to 65 basis points until the end of the year, December the 31st. This US-focused strategy uses currency hedging. So for everybody here in Canada, they take care of that for you. They'll give you that pure performance and exposure you're looking for. If you are looking to amplify your performance, check out the sticky note and check out betapro.3.ca/3timesdaily to learn much more. Yeah, thanks Global X for all that. Yeah, so things just really working out, man. I mean, here comes AMD right back up to VWAP. We're just a scalper that we're trying to be here. And I mean, another $1.80, $1.90, $2 play here on Advanced Micro Devices. As the market continues to go downside, we just continue to find these gems, right? And so there's Advanced Micro Devices. And it's not like we're playing off of anything other than the work that we did in the pre-market, which is completely free. We have Sharif's note that goes out in the morning time, and then we have the sticky note, and we all put out a little something. So go make sure you check it out. We did not have Intel on the board. We will still wind up making more money on Intel, though. But here it comes. Nice move to the downside on INTC. So deuces right now in the overall space for me, 2 for 2. JP Morgan, though, I don't know. We haven't talked too much bank. There goes JP Morgan. Wow. As we said, man, you know, what's up with this market right now? It's the banks that are really tanking. Obviously, the Nasdaq's not too concerned about that, but the ES now down 1.27 as JP Morgan, my guy, bleeding right now to the downside. Maybe we will take this opportunity to get something out of JP Morgan. But I never want to get out on like the day it's down 4%. That doesn't make much sense. But
and they beat.
Yeah, and they beat. And then Goldman's down 5% as well. So the banks are not helping anybody stay afloat here today. Wells Fargo, on the other hand, up 3 and a bit. Oh boy, man, now we're $2. We're still $3 in the money on these names. So far, so good right now. Let's get another piece out on AMD because why not? We're at VWAP, so there's another piece. And Intel's a buck as well, so we're just doing what we're doing. People are loving BBAI in the chat is what I'm seeing right now. And there it goes, man. Nice little move back above $9.
Was there any news on BBAI?
Not really. They did have, there was that Navy news story, but then that was sort of canceled. There was some back and forth about it. I wasn't here Thursday, Friday, so there was some plays there. But wow, Intel, Neil, just cranked. Okay, so Neil's got Tesla. It's a new position. We'll go over there in a minute. But there it is, man. We just got a sick fill on Intel, man. What a day, what a day. Glad to have Neil back and glad to be trading live with you guys.
Absolutely, and yeah, Tesla did that wick shimmy. I got a real bad price in here on there. I got a real, that kind of hurts. I don't remember.
Exactly, man. You got to stretch out.
I got a really bad price on the way back through 420. I think I keystroked it, to be honest with you, because I hit 38s on the way back through. Anyways, it just wicked the bottom at 418. So instead of 420 to 418, it's more like 419, 30 something into 418. But the 420 seems like the resistance spot for Tesla. I'll look for another topping tail candle in here, like reject, close under 420, or we wait for the volume weighted average price. So just a quick little scalp trade on Tesla. Is this a bottom going to be in here? Okay, that was some serious buying off that low there on Tesla. That was pretty legit. What's Nvidia doing? Maybe Nvidia's trying to bottom as well. Nvidia's doing a bottoming pattern as well. So yeah, might have just got quickly in and out of Tesla in time. And let's be patient with this because you have a bit of a bottoming pattern happening here on Nvidia, which was leading a lot of this move to the downside originally. I don't want to go long Tesla, but this is at a bare minimum, cover the short, think about the long. but find it in somewhere that I'm going to like. And I don't know if I like it in Tesla. I'm going to stay away from Tesla for the long trade. Let's try to find something else that's looking a little bit better to that upside. MP Materials, along with all of the other rare earth metals names, was up. It's trying to hold grain at that 95 zone. That was my key price. 95, so if it can hold 95, maybe take a shot at this one long above VWAP. I like the V-shaped recoveries. Check out Day Trader LA with like the 5th super chat this morning. Check out Zillow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 100% we can look at Zillow. I got MP up. If we close above 95 in VWAP, I'll take my shot at that one. But Zillow, that's not a name that we usually pay too much attention to, and it doesn't do a lot of volume, but that's pretty strong, up 2%. Right off the bat, I'll tell you it's done a couple 100,000 in volume, so no day traders probably going to touch this with a 10-foot pole because of how low the volume is. But yeah, a little something going on here. I don't range bound. Not too exciting, I don't think. You might have something on a swing if it closes and breaks this trend, like breaks out 72. Maybe you could try some kind of a dead cat bounce swing long. It's more of a stay away from me. Sorry, I can't really force my way to say something I like about that. Okay, well, that was a good out on Tesla. Tesla just bounced $5. That was a bottom on Tesla here, 420.
Very nice.
What the heck is going on with Tesla? Okay, Tesla might have caught a little bit of a bit.
I mean,
I'm going to stick with MP here. Right? MP's above VWAP, at least for now.
Yeah, there's still not a whole heck of a lot going on, but the market is trying to bounce back quite nicely here. We do now have back up to, wow. I didn't even realize that we were back up to 220. I was about to say back up to 219, but there goes Advanced Micro Devices. I mean, this is the belle of the ball for me today, as well as Intel, but we've been covering both of these plays. So far so good here on some of that cover. All right, so we're just going to continue to watch out for these plays and hopefully be able to make some more at some point here today. So there goes Advanced Micro Devices, now $4. And then we have AMD, Intel. We're trying to figure that one out here as well, as Intel trying to give me, the what to do here with that stock. So we'll have to wait. We just got out some more here. As we're trying to break above the 21 period, as I said many times before on the show, we are trying to hold things a little bit longer, and I think we've done it. Wow. Like, so this, I just want to show everybody, like, this is how you make days and everything like that, honestly. It's by doing the work. It's not, we had Mitch on here yesterday. We talked about, trading things that are hot or that, that have gotten good reads on it. Like this AMD right there, we never got the TQQ bump, so we didn't have to short it, but we did get AMD, and we got exactly what we wanted, between 215 to 217 long. And then we had written down into here, too, look for the 220. Look for the 200 period closing out near 220. So yeah, there goes right now, Advanced Micro Devices. Nothing but love for you back up to the upside there for AMD. So there it goes, man. We just cleared some out above 220 once again. So that play is starting to work out good for us. I mean, yesterday we had Oklo. We had that Bloom Energy with some decent news there yesterday. So Oklo trying to go, or did go yesterday. We'll see what it winds up doing here today, but up to 170 down today, but nicely up and cooking again. Oklo, that's a nice name. SMR was a name that I emptied out some over last week, so not great on that one because it did have a move higher, but it was still in this rough area. I think it was 42 and change, and that SMR right now down 4% again here today. So yeah, that one's getting yuckier. I should have
sold some of that
right now. Yeah, I was able to sell some of this, so that was pretty good. But I mean, even now is not a bad sell spot. And then if you are looking, for some other names, we did talk about Big Bear AI, and it's hot. Wow, there goes Big Bear AI. Let's go, man. This one's really helping out the old account right now. We are hella long. Not hella long, but we're long at $4. So Big Bear AI right now, a double up, and not even one that's that long ago. I mean, this one did make that move back into 470, now trying to break out. I really like Big Bear AI. I mean, I've been talking about it on the show just as much as, more than Palantir, obviously, in the last 4 or 5 months, but right into here, I had the same feelings. I was calling this name kind of baby Palantir. I don't know if it gets to those levels, but if it does, then oh boy. But there goes BBAI right now, up to 9.25 and looking pretty good. So yeah, OpenAI, BBAI, OpenAI, Open Door, and OpenAI, but Open Door, nice move there. I'm a little nervous about when and if that OpenAI ever IPOs. Like, I don't know how anyone's going to wind up paying for all this compute power right now. I think that might be a sense that
they have no need to go public. They have zero need to go public. So by the time they do, it's not gonna be good for people, I don't think. Right. It'll be good for us. It'll be good for us for 5 minutes because we'll crush it, and then like every day trader will. But I think it's gonna be one of those events that it's just a different market for companies like this. Why would they bother? They can raise money anytime they want. But MP can't always go to the upside. It just will take the L on this one, trying to hold the volume weighted average price. It just dropped down. It dropped like $4 there. I basically gave it like 70 pennies because I'm not going to hold it way past that volume weighted average price. But I did remind myself that, oh, yeah, we do have this, everybody. I keep seeing, there's a bunch of names in there. LAES, I've seen a few times here. Make sure when you are typing a symbol in the chat, please use $, because NVTS, Open Door, AMD, G-Wave, LAES, lots of names. I mean, Tesla, BBAI, ARM is another one showing a lot of strength, actually, ARM. So thank you guys for putting those names in the chat. It is NVTS. Rounding out number one that we have not looked at. So shout out to you, Navitas. Pretty decent volume, but like most of everything today, trending down. Like broke down, like yeah, it's up 17%, but broke down, trending mostly to the downside. You'd like to see some higher lows put in. For all these gappers, if you can't hold VWAP, I'll take shots at VWAP, but if you can't hold VWAP, then I don't like you as a gapper. And just jumping back over to the crypto story, Bitcoin, like we were short 63, which is 11,000. It's now holding that level in the other direction. So the short level is turning into support here for IBIT. And as I look over, ETH, Ethereum doing exactly the same story. So Bitcoin and ETH both holding on to the opening range with a couple of pretty decent bottom wick candles at the volume weighted average price. So you're getting a turn in crypto. If we lose VWAP, I go short again. It's that simple. I know I should be thinking about the long, but I want to stick with the idea of short. So I want this to break down under VWAP, or at least maybe make a run at that pre-market high, and then I can go short again. But it's showing signs of strength. If you like long, it's not that bad of a setup here as crypto tries to recover. So let's get to Adair. It's 10 o'clock. Let's see what else is happening now.
Yeah, what the hell's happening now?
So much is happening now, guys. Bank earnings, of course, on watch, starting the earnings season here. And I'm seeing commentary coming from Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon right now, just to let everybody know, in case you were trading that name or any of these other banks. We know China and the U.S. have certainly been on watch here, continuing to butt heads on trade. Reuters reporting as of Monday, apparently both the U.S. and China starting today are going to be charging port fees on these ocean shipping firms. Now, let's talk about the other major, I think, market-wide catalyst today, which has been AI-related. Salesforce CRM announcing some deals here with OpenAI and Anthropic this morning. We know Walmart also got a pop this morning on an OpenAI deal. Now we have AMD with its own AI-related deal. Wolf Research, it is worth noting, also upgraded the stock today to outperform with a $300 price target. But Oracle announcing that they're going to have this partnership here with AMD, including a 5,000 AMD GPU supercluster by Q3 2026. Then we have AVGO also going to be on watch here. Broadcom, much like the rest of the market, pulling back a little bit here, but it is worth noting they did get 2 price target increases today from Deutsche Bank and Barclays, and we know that Broadcom has its own deal with OpenAI announced yesterday. Back to you.
Adara. I just want to employ Adara one more time, because right now Fannie Mae, I just tried to go in and out of Fannie Mae and instantly lost 5 cents, like it was going out of style right there.
What happened?
I don't know. They just, it's not doing, like, look, I like to trade some of these names. It's not doing
that's
like
over 10%.
8%. Yeah. Oh, at the bottom. Yeah. So, I don't know if they have short sale restricted because it's not saying anything, but right there down 9% today, and it could just be coming off, but there you go. So nice little move downside there for Fannie Mae. So we can find out if anything's happening. It was on a scanner there for volume. I've obviously only made the one trade and I lost 4 cents, sorry, there, and I only put in 500 shares. So just a quick 20, it's 25 bucks. So.
Not seeing anything obvious on Fannie Mae. I did check Bill Pulte's X account because he runs Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. His most recent post, which was about Fannie Mae, was 20 hours ago. Also keep an eye on Google and WPP. I just saw apparently Financial Times reporting that WPP is boosting their AI marketing with a $400 million Google deal.
Okay, so yeah, the deals keep coming. I mean, these are the kind of deals that I like for companies right now. Obviously, we like the OpenAI, we like all that, but it's nice to hear this is a marketing thing right now for Google. So good to see that. This is not someone, AI based. I mean, obviously probably has something to do with AI, but nice move there for Google and a nice windfall. Looks like a small deal, but at the end of the day, nicely cooking right now is
400 million.
400 million, is that all that it was? Okay, yeah. So anyways, nice to see in this space something going upside there. That's
It's good for WPP, obviously.
Yeah, what is WPP? Is that WordPress?
They're up like they're up 3 points on this. WPP PLC. Yeah, but Google not really caring too much about that at all. But wow, okay.
Okay, computers.
No, I was gonna say okay Tesla. That was right to VWAP. That's gonna be the better place. Like forget about the 420 for now. 420 is a nice fun number and everything, but ultimately it didn't fall apart under that price. It bounced off 418 clean, and volume weighted average price looks like a much better spot there for Tesla. So let's see it get back in here. It's about 422 to 423. There's no particular catalyst for Tesla, but it is weaker than the overall market. It did have multi-day resistance in the 30s, so stair step down like pretty much just about everything else. Let's look to short this pop here at VWAP. Still seeing the same thing with crypto though. Like since we got out, it is just holding the line higher at 111 on Bitcoin, and ETH is doing the same thing. This might turn into a long. I'm not there yet. I'm still looking for this to break down, but it's not showing me a short right now. So crypto in general has been weak most of the morning. You're catching a bit of a bid here, and I don't want to fight it if we don't have to. If we end up being one and done on Bitcoin, then that's just how it's going to be. Don't have to force that trade. And they're next. And I know we were skeptical about some of these OpenAI headlines, but like seriously, CRM? Seriously? Now down on the day after getting an OpenAI deal? So much for closing above 250 and looking for a swing long on CRM. It's got a lot of work to do before it can do that. So the sell the news continues to win here for most of these plays when it just announced an OpenAI deal.
I've never, good look over there. I mean, also we had that Walmart we were just talking about.
Is that down too?
Oh, OpenAI now talking about the.
Where are you hearing this?
Argentinian. Is it financial juice or is it? Sometimes the thing. Make sure your thing didn't stop. Sometimes Benzinga will give it a good old go there and quit on us. But AMD is honestly, like the fact that we were long 217, 216s. That's where we are right now, long. But like it is like moving dollars. Like it's just elevating or moving down both ways. Like it is basically like liquidity vacuums are happening all over the place here on AMD. Like I was just like, oh my God, we're losing this 218. We're losing VWAP, right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe the short is finally in because this 220 has been a really good area to get short. I mean, there is no doubt about that. You could play this both ways today. I feel like if you are in the right spots and be okay with it, but the high side right now is a little nerve-wracking because of what this market's doing here. The market looks, there it is, it just takes VWAP. So I am a little nervous about that. I was really surprised. I mean, my most recent dip buy, I got to put some lube in my eye in a second here. It's starting to get a little bothering me. But Nvidia down at 180, that surprised me when Neil mentioned that. Like, so that was definitely.
I think the bottom's in there.
Looking back is one thing, but like that 180 now, like that was a great opportunity. So I hope some of you were able to take said opportunity right there. I tried to get more, like, since we just brought you this story about Fannie Mae, I haven't done anything, but it's up to the 50-period moving average. I tried to punch to get long, but see with the 3-cent spread right here, it's not typical of OTC trading to see this kind of a spread on a tighter name. So you got to be careful with it because there's not that much liquidity here. Like this could wipe down like crazy. So it is tough. I don't really like to trade OTC markets until I see a lot of liquidity on the level twos because it can be harder to get in, which is great when you're in the money and it's for you because then it's going. But the problem is getting caught on these names. And by the way, there goes AMD. So congratulations to anybody that held that. I mean, we noticed that this was a problem for us and hence we got out. We have 3% left of our AMD position and about 7 or 8% left of Intel. So these are moving in two opposite directions right now, Intel and AMD. Before I know we don't have to just keep going back and forth here, but I wanted to show this because the sectors today, I know Neil and I, we're looking everywhere. Like Neil's been trading IBIT.
Walmart, eh?
We're looking, yeah, I wanted to say Amazon was the short that we had written down today, and it's near the lows of the day right now. Amazon 215, so that's getting hit a little bit. That's a name I'd like to buy. Yeah, Neil just mentioned Walmart, so that's up there. We're still trying to fade 107, the high of the pre-market. That doesn't look like that's coming through either, but it's this area right here that's a little bit concerning today for me because it's the big one there, Morgan, and then JP Morgan. So it's Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan on what we thought were pretty decent earnings, but the market just says time to sell out a little bit, I guess.
They seem to not care.
Look at all the regionals, right? Like with WFC being upside, you do get some of the smaller banks into here, RJF and whatnot, that are starting to get back up to the upside just a little bit here. I still like Schwab a lot, $93, waiting for that to pull back. We'll wait to see when Schwab has earnings. But Visa, MasterCard?
Goldman's going to be in probably one of those easy buys after earnings.
Exactly. So that was, that's where I said that my eyes.
JP.
Yeah,
both of them. The only difference is like, obviously Goldman's a stock that no one day trades, but both of these like trying to hold on to the 50, just kind of like a healthy dip buy. I think you just wait a day or two, maybe even not that long, and you're going to get a chance at both these bad boys. What I actually saw here, I saw a few people in the chat mention this, and I don't know if this is going to be related to any of that AMD stuff, but ARM, for what it's worth, is up 2.5% and holding higher lows and broke the high of the day into a weak market. So that stands out as distinctly different. Maybe this is something. I was looking for something long, and maybe it should have been Bitcoin. I'll slap the fail on myself because it just continues to hold VWAP and trend higher, and I only want to be shorted, so I'm just not doing anything with it right now. But ARM looking very good. So I'm going to play this one. It's a breakout on multiple time frames. So the daily chart, you've got it breaking out the tops, and then look at it here holding the highs in VWAP. So this 176 I'm going to like here on ARM. Take a quick shot. Yeah, let us know. First of all, for profit, you gotta let me know what this one's all about. Neil Duncan is back. Duncan. Okay, I'll take it. NVTS, yeah, that Navitas, pretty much the top name on the list for everybody here. It's still under VWAP, guys. Like, it's just, a lot of these gappers have just been trending down, down, down. Down, down, baby, your street in a Range Rover. The only thing it has done is it's held the low. So I do not like gappers that hold underneath the volume weighted average price. It's just got to break above this $12 level and start holding bids a little bit higher. So it's up 17%. That's pretty deceiving. It's been mostly a sell most of the day. And it's not like this stock hasn't, it's had a huge, it's a huge move already. So some profit taking makes some sense on NVTS. Sometimes you just need a calm down day. And that's what it seems like it's doing here. So I'm going to take my shot at ARM. Still going to look for that opportunity to fade IBIT somewhere. Another top, if you can just do a little bit of a trend break here. And then I can try to short it off this in here, maybe at the 63.15. Like try to break the high, fail to break the high, and then jump right back into the short, play it to VWAP, and then play it to the low of the day. 111. So it's not really like we're bounced too far off 110 on Bitcoin. But if you break out the high, then I got to let this one go. I probably should have taken a long there, but it is what it is. So ARM is the new trade, holding above the volume weighted average price for whatever reason. I'll double check. I'm not aware of there being a specific story with ARM, to be honest with you, but it's strong anyways.
Yeah, good look there. I mean, it's always nice to look at different kind of names, right? So I want to thank all of you guys for everything right here. I mean, and Neil's already highlighted our little screen up here, so we just highlighted NVTS for you. Make sure you do get into the chat right now. Hit your like, hit your subscribe, and then just start putting up some orders. Oh, I did see Oscar Health today. Let's go over Oscar's. I just saw you.
News on Oscar.
Yeah, it was Goldman Sachs initiated coverage with a $17 price target. So
Isn't it at 17?
No, man, it's at 20. It was at 24. Now it's at 19. Okay, now it's back to 21. So failed. Nice try, Goldman.
Another one.
Goldman sucks.
Another one.
All right. But yeah, there it goes, man. So we really liking some Oscar Health right here. This is a play that we have gotten some out recently on this move higher, right into this area right there with $21, $22. But this is a play that we do have in our long-term portfolio. So I like Oscar. I mean, initiating coverage at 17. I did not read the note. I saw it come through today. Let me just go over here quickly and go OSCR. Click on Oscar Health right here, and then just see, yeah, there it is right here. So Pretty simple talk right here. In this rate's coverage, Oscar with a neutral rating. So Goldman Sachs. So I don't, in this little write-up here, there's not much about anything other than a price target. So yeah, nice to see them initiating coverage. So now that they're on this, once they look into it, they'll probably put a much higher price target on this. So we'll wait to see what happens with Oscar. And then the reason why it got my attention there was looking at the chat. We do have UNH. So UNH, another nice play there, up to 360. What a good, we had talked about generational buys down there, and it was a risk, obviously, to catch something that has come where this has come from, UNH that is, but it is a nice move back up into 360 here. So watch out, that's your 200 period moving average over there. Nvidia and AMD and Intel, they're all kind of moving in different zones right now, but let's go over to Adair and find out what she's got going on.
Yeah, I looked here into the Oscar Health. I couldn't find any more details on the note. Sometimes on Google you find a bit more, but yeah, it looks like, as far as I can tell, they just issued the neutral rating and the $17 price target. But let's talk here about Alphabet GOOGL. This is actually taking out pre-market highs, if not yet post-market highs, announcing a partnership with the World Bank for emerging markets digital infrastructure. Good look here for GOOGL. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara, and pretty quick there on ARM. Was able to bounce and just find the range, right? So you got a bit of a bull flag, 176 into 178. So as long as it holds 76, long here to there, like play 76 into 78, and then if it breaks down, maybe look at the volume weighted average price. But I want to just play the scalp game. The other thing to consider with anything that you're playing in long is if you look at the futures right now, like we've just done a V-shaped recovery. And it's not a huge move. You compare to what happened overnight, like we've done nothing compared to the overnight move, but it's still open, break the low, and then right back into this resistance. So if you start breaking out the top, that's a different leg for some of these long plays. And as I said, I should slap the fail on myself on IBIT. Yeah, there's Bitcoin. Initially with the short, now it's breaking out into a long. Let me double check what's going on in Ethereum as well. So Bitcoin certainly in a bit of a breakout mode. ETH also looking like a breakout. Yeah, I feel like the one that's down more, if I'm going to chase the long, might be joining ETH instead of Bitcoin. So this is a breakout play. Dip into VWAP for sure, but I'm going to maybe take a shot somewhere in front of the $30 level here. That's pretty distinct, man. Anytime you have double bottom, wick bottom at the low, making some higher lows when everyone was thinking short this morning, recovery play might be in the cards here for ETH back into the volume weighted average price. So I'm going to stick in a bid for myself and buy the first available dip here into Ethereum. Some strength coming back into the market, everybody. And whether that's going to be for me getting into ETH on trend, maybe jumping back into ARM, which is up 3.5% and one of the stronger names out there, then fair enough. That's what we can do. So let me know in the chat what else you guys are looking at, because I do see, like Dinkelberg just mentioned A-Lab, not something we've looked at. And Mara, of course. That makes a lot of sense there. If you're looking, Hayden just put in Mara in the chat. Yeah, like why not? Like what's going to get beat up the most? And when crypto moves, sometimes it's going to be the miners. Mara also on the midst of a pretty good breakout. Now green on the session. That's not much of a chase for me. I just can't find myself chasing all the way up here. Rather try to buy the dip on ETH or Bitcoin maybe at that volume weighted average price. And then even Tesla. Like we got away with one on Tesla today. When I say we, I literally mean me. We're shorting underneath that 420 and then right at that low of the day. Sometimes you just got to get it out. And Tesla looking like it's made that big reversal play and could get pretty good. So yeah, this one might hold on to VWAP in that 422. You've got to be willing to flip it up sometimes. Like I liked only shorts. We went over to ARM. Tesla could end up in the same bucket here. No questions asked. It's certainly got enough. It's got enough juice off that 418. Sometimes I want to zoom it out, see what else we see here. Yeah, when I zoom it out, I don't like it as much. When I zoom it out, I still want to short up here at 426. So I'll be a little bit more patient with Tesla.
Oh my God.
I'll be a little more patient with Tesla. ARM and ETH and Bitcoin look much better. Like ARM's going to probably take out 179 here. Buy the next dip there. Buy the dip on ETH because that's where the strength is a little bit better.
All right, yeah, crypto. Let's have a quick little look at some of the crypto plays here, everybody, because it's been a pretty violent one, man. I mean, I was looking at the portfolio this morning and chose to rather not look at it and close the app almost ASAP on that one, because you know what, the thing is, you're going to drive yourself crazy looking at all these prices every single minute of every single day. It's like I was talking with this wealth manager and he's just like, Sean, like you're looking at stocks every single day, so if you're making calls daily, then you know the longer term you gotta sort of separate your left brain, right brain from some of this business, because I tend to, you know, potentially overreact sometimes when I see some of these moves. Like I see JP Morgan down today and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta sell it. But I don't wanna sell a big, huge bank like that down 3%. Well, I'd rather sell it up 3% and capture some of those profits and not panic and go the other way. So I think that that's what's maybe happening here with Bitcoin today. We did have a panic move, and then once these markets opened up and we see that the Nasdaq is actually settling down a little bit right now, we're getting more of a bounce right here in crypto. So nice move there for Bitcoin. Ethereum's been really the problem. I mean, I'd like to see it hold. Obviously, we'd all like to see it hold that 4,000 marker right there, 15% over 7 days. So something there to the downside. Obviously, XRP Ripple, I think, has been getting hit the most. Considering that I thought that there was a good base case for them on money transfer. And then Solana, man, just broke through that $200 spot right there after hitting close and around their all-time highs of 250 again. So there's been a nice move to the downside in many of these crypto plays. So again, I still wish there was, and let me know in the chat, like, isn't there, I know I could buy Coinbase and all that. Coinbase today down 3 or 4%, but is there a, unless it's down more, it's probably battled back. It was down earlier. Unless there's a name that, yeah, Coinbase, wow, nicely battling back, as we talked about it there with Bitcoin as well. But I wonder if there was like an all-world crypto ETF, like where it's investing in like the top, remember there was something that was like a top 10 coin thing that we were thinking about there? So it's not, I don't want a 2x Ripple or a 2x ETH or anything like that. I just want like an all-world coin right there. David Blacklock is in the building right here. So let's see what this guy's saying. There it is, man. I'm just going to do this right now because $300 for a super chat. Oh, I didn't even have this in my ear. $300 in the super chat. There it is. Yeah, let me get that off and we'll use what we have on the screen there. Thanks, Andre. So I sent you a super chat. This is the first time reading this for me. I sent you a super chat in January of this year. Thank you for helping me maintain a daily average of 1,000 per trading day. Drop that cash down. That's huge, right? Like that's, you know, not speaking for anybody else around here, but I'd take $1,000 per day right there. I thank you again. And now average, I just said I'd be happy with 1,000. And this dude over here, Mr. Blacklock, doing it over that 50% higher. So you've improved your trading, and that's the whole thing, David. And I think Neil and I, this is why we talk about, you know, finding that consistency, finding something that works. This is why I try to tell you guys when certain levels for myself have been hit and so on and so forth, because that's what it's all about. That's how you level up. Once you start hitting your levels, David, which you've clearly done, then you yourself are also leveling up. So I want to congratulate you for that. And again, just big time, man. Big time trading, like that kind of money there. Just make sure you save something for the tax man, because he or she always cometh. And Uncle Sam is... Do not Wesley Snipes yourself. Yes, is undefeated. Because honestly, 1,000 a day, there's 256 days or something, trading days in a year. So great income there to be able to do something that hopefully you love. So all right, cheers up to that, David. Thank you so much for that. And a big super congratulations. We're very, we don't know, it cut off. There was a little bit more at the end there. Oh, was there? Did it cut off? Actually, yeah, that's weird. It did, just before we go to Adara. And earned over 300K. Your team was the best, David Blacklock. There we go. So thank you. I did the rough math there. It was close to being right. Yeah, it was close to being right. You know, but maybe with Fabian, it cuts off like a few of the, just cuts off a little bit of the message. Yeah, I think we just got to add like, whatever, 10, 15 digits or whatever there. Let's go over, I believe we're going to Adara.
Yeah, this small cap recap is going to have maybe some larger market cap names, but that are making kind of parabolic moves. We're going to start here with Trilogy Metals, TMQ. We know this one was one of the ones that the Trump administration announced an investment in. And again, it's a critical mineral stock. We know that as we get continued escalation between the U.S. and China, these stocks are going to be on watch, just over $1 billion market cap. The other one in that critical mineral space that's going to be on watch here is CRML, roughly a 14% short float, I believe. Again, slightly larger market cap Now, last but not least, let's talk here about Navitas Semiconductor. Navitas here, $2.4 billion market cap. It is in the Russell 2000, 28% short float. Now, they provided a progress update here on their development of the advanced, medium, and high 800 VDC voltage power devices. You can get more details on this story on our Trader TV Live watch list, which is free. Make sure to subscribe. It comes right to your inbox every day. Before we send you back to the guys, we will take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. Did you know that instead of risking your own money, you can now trade with someone else's capital? No more fear of losing. No more moving your stop loss too soon. And you actually get enough capital to make it worth your time. So you can aim for big profits, not just a couple $100 a month. This is the revolution called limited risk trading. And it's powered by Trade the Pool. How does it work? Join Trade the Pool, hit the profit goal, and keep 70% of your profits. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now for 10% off. Back to you.
I was saying, let's try to beat him.
Thank you very much, Adara. Appreciate you for sure. Look, remember, it's just all Fed speak today. Just keep that in mind. Like we always keep our ear to the ground, but we don't get any like economic data. The market has made that reversal. I know we're not green on the day, but we're at 1% down on the Nasdaq, and now you're breaking out some of that top. So for myself, the transition, about the first available dip here in ETH. It just happens to be the quarter level. So I got 24s, actually not even 25s. I'm gonna play it back into 30. If it loses that, then I wait for the volume weighted average price. So a bit of a reversal happening. You got Nvidia maybe leading its charge as well, holding VWAP. So that early sell-off is trying to get bought right back up. And you're seeing some strength in maybe some weird places. ARM is somewhat still going, I don't know why it's at 5%. I'm gonna try. This feels like a stock did. In the long term, I might take some profit on ARM. This is actually,
why not?
Like, this is the top on ARM, right?
Oh,
like
it's up there now?
Yeah, it's pretty much at 180. Like, this actually makes some sense to me.
again.
So if we get up there, yeah, forget it. I'll probably end up selling some in the 180 level. It's just in my personal account. I just didn't realize why it's so strong. I still haven't really seen a story explaining it, and I like it. That's great, but I feel like this is a good opportunity.
I think ARM just catches wind of like all of that
It
stuff.
could just be like sympathy.
I think it's sympathy.
Which makes some sense. We could always be missing something, though.
So the only thing that I'm missing is not following my plan to a T here, because AMD right there, we should have been long more at 217. I mean, we wrote down 217 to 250 long. So we have 216.70s right now, up in the money now, 350, sorry, as this long is really starting to pump. So it's going to be a good trade there. Intel just keeps on going higher, and we've been able to get out. Like that last couple dips there at 20s, we're able to get something. I'm going to put a bid right now at 51 and just slap that out right now. So we'll get out right there at 50s, and then we'll see. We have a little small position right there, but yeah, there it goes, right into the high of the day again, 221 for advanced micro. So I'm going to offer upside there around that 221 area, hit offer, enter, and then wait to see if and when we get that fill right now. But we are basically out of this trade, so it's unfortunate, but well, it's very fortunate that we have it, but still.
I was able to find a story here for ARM.
Oh, okay.
OpenAI working with SoftBank's ARM on AI chip effort. That's the entirety of the headline there. I am taking some, that just makes me for sure.
But just that whole OpenAI thing, I
when 11
like
o'clock
the story,
hits,
it's just, I
take 10% off of ARM when 11 o'clock hits, my personal account. I don't know what's going on with LAC here. I do know what was going on before, and it seems like it didn't really do much while I was gone here in Lithium Americas. But this could be breaking out on LAC. I just saw a few people put this one into the chat. This one looks pretty solid. Rounded bottom into a potential break. When I left you, 880 was a problem, and 880 still is a problem for LAC. So if you're watching the stock, 880 is going to be a key level. Before it gets there, maybe buy dips into it. But once it hits that price, I think you're looking for the other side, like maybe the fade side of the trade for LAC. So I don't know what the position board went, but I'm in ETH long and looking for this top here on Tesla. So it's almost at the high. It's got a nice trend off the bottom. So either break at the trend line, which would be under VWAP, or we wait till it gets to 427 and take our second shot at Tesla. As the market continues its reversal course and a nice little breakout. So good luck overall if you were buying them dips. Pretty much across the board, everything looking good. Keep seeing people ask me about Palantir. It's weird. Like, even when Palantir doesn't have much of a story,
yeah.
it always seems to be something people want to look at.
Yeah. It's a big cult stock, right?
Well, I mean, because it does things like this. Like, this is why people want to look at Palantir.
Keep looking, Neil.
Because when this stock reverses off the lows, or when the market does a V-shaped day, Palantir is usually like the best of the longs. Look at it, hold that 50-period moving average. If you like a stock, then on the daily, the 50-period and the 200 can be your place to be. So nice hold of 170. 171, check that on Palantir. Congratulations on that. Like, just zoom out the chart.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's right off the lows from last Friday. Almost exactly off the same low, and now you go like $6 higher. Palantir green on the session as the market has an outside shot to maybe get there.
Holy shit. Guys, we're now $5 in. We got to do better on holding. And like I said, I keep going back to what Mitch was saying yesterday, is that to just worry about your losing trades and let your winning trades ride. And I think that that's something that we've done today here. We're almost at, now we're at about 2.5 times. But still, good trading right there. I think we beat Bill Ackman today, if that's at all possible. But thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. But there it goes right now. Nice upside trade there for AMD as it just continues to rip and roar here. So, you know, obviously pretty happy with the performance there today. And again, it's just a sticky note trade that is now $6 plus. Intel, we just got some more out. We're getting very, very light on that one. So let's just go back over to some of the banks to see, because that makes me feel a little bit better. Some of these banks now recovering just a little bit here with JP Morgan again. So nice play back there to the upside off of that 294. Remember I was saying like panicking never really works out the greatest. And so I think that that's another example right there, that if you sort of panic sold off the open there, again, if you panic sold off the open, you're fine because you were still in that area. We're still not even back to there. But, you know, if you were woe is me, like I tend to be sometimes, then you got to watch out for those little levels there, because that was definitely bought up. So now I'm thinking that the aggressive levels to worry about for JP Morgan would be where we made today. So if we break some of those levels, then that's maybe where we decide to get out. But the name that we wanted to buy was Goldman, and I think that's still some buying opportunities there as we're at the 50-period moving average. So banks continued to do quite well. I did hear, and I don't remember, Adara, maybe, if there was a story on Apple. I thought I heard something right into, yeah, no worries. I don't think it's anything major. The Nasdaq is on a straight line to the upside right there. But Apple falling down here, I guess it was just with the market. Yeah, don't worry about it, Adara. I thought I had heard something about their supply, but then now it's all the way back up, so I don't want to worry about that. Okay, yeah, perfect. Adara confirming there ain't nothing there.
Nothing.
And then, look, man, today there is 0% doubt in my mind that this 212 on Amazon, like, look, man, I know that we like this name, but Amazon broke through its 200-period moving average today. And obviously, if you have an order sitting there, congratulations. But that was probably one of the better pickups. I mean, there's going to be stocks that look a lot better today, like this move back, like Palantir, like a lot of different names. But that's a great hold on a great name that you could definitely wrap your head around. So I like Amazon. And then the other name yesterday that got hit pretty good, doesn't look like it's battling back today at all, is Uber, right? So Uber yesterday made that move down into $93, $94. You can see still trying to hover around as well. But Uber looking for that move back up, and it's a nice straight line. I'm thinking the market is probably overextended. I don't think we're near. I wrote down on the TQs 101.50, so we are getting close to that. I don't necessarily want to hop right back in to this name just quite yet on the TQs. Like, I'd like to see it hover up here just a little bit more and then go from there. So that's something that I'm trying to figure out now is where the next trade is. To take a word from my guy Obi, who you'll be seeing in a half hour with Obi and what's this guy's name over there? Joe. Oh, Joey. Joe or more French? Oh, Joe, Portuguese. He's Portuguese today.
You have Portuguese in your blood, Joe? I didn't know that. Oh.
No, okay, good, okay. Neil has it in there. I just didn't want to make fun of it.
I do.
You know, the Portuguese. Me and Neil go, he's got that Portuguese in there, and being Italian.
Yeah, my grandfather was my grandfather was half Portuguese.
Half Portuguese, yeah, Portuguese. I mean, good, man. Get some European up in there. All right, so Yeah, SIU, that's another coin. I see some people talking about that as well right now. But Neil's just in the Tesla. Oh, you're back in the Tesla shorts.
It'll end up being flat between the two because I lost on ETH and we'll make on Tesla off the, and then it's bouncing off VWAP. I should be out of that already. So trend break into the volume weighted average price. It broke the trend. I'm not going to redraw the trend line, but you can kind of see it breaks the trend here. It goes into the volume weighted average price. ETH just lost the actual price. It lost 40,000. Sorry. Before I left, I was saying 40,000 instead of 4,000, but you guys know what I mean when I say it. But we lost that support at 4,000 temporarily on ETH. It might bounce off VWAP, which I got to double check because this chart is missing some data. So therefore, VWAP will be incorrect there. But Tesla, look, Tesla's been along off the bottom. I get it. It found a couple of shorts on the way back into the upside. So if it continues to hold VWAP, maybe this stock ends up being a breakout. I don't know. But I'll continue to look for those little spots where I can find resistance and try to fade it. And if one of them can hold, great. Then we can be in it a little bit longer. As far as the chips go, ARM might pull back into VWAP to get us in again. Right back in here, that 176. Of course, their story being OpenAI is working with SoftBank's ARM in an AI chip effort. That's the theme of the morning. It's just CRM. AMD was with Oracle specifically, but CRM and OpenAI, ARM and OpenAI, Tradertv.live and OpenAI.
Yeah, it was just announced today.
Everybody and OpenAI, because OpenAI has unlimited amounts of capital supplied by the people that they rely on. It's just a nice big circle of joy in the AI space.
Yes.
I think circle jerk is the word I'm supposed to say, but I was looking for something
you're not
else
supposed to say
other
that.
than.
You're not supposed to say that word, actually, I think.
I'm not allowed to say that?
Oh, you can say it. Yeah, you can say it. If you want.
It's not really offensive, is it? I guess
circle
it is.
Jerk? What, do you know what it means?
I know what it means.
Oh, okay.
But it's like a figure of speech now more than anything else.
I get it.
I
get it. I get it. So you're just saying that they're circle jerking each other is what you're saying, basically.
I've seen that in print with regards to the AI story.
Yeah,
so it's not just me saying it.
All right.
I'm just saying. I've seen it in print.
Speak about that. Where's the lube for my eyes? I was going to put some more in there. All right, so let's just check out Robinhood. Robinhood got, it is actually, I do actually have to put lubricant. Those of you that had.
No, you do have
to.
No, my dad, no, I'm laughing at myself being an idiot.
Yeah.
No, my dad had laser eye surgery. Yeah, you
yeah. No, I know. Yeah. No, I just thought it was topical. That's
dude, put it.
Oh, I could actually do eye drops.
I can't do eye drops.
Yeah, I got steroids in there and
I can't do eye drops.
All that fun stuff right there. It's almost getting time to figure out what for lunch right now here today. You know, a name that was it a call for Adara, by the way, before? No, okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, Microsoft again. You know, Microsoft had that breakout of 520. And since then has been about 3 or 4 straight down days. I mean, obviously, as the market goes, you know, a big, huge tech name like Softy will also hit the skids a little bit. So no surprise here as Microsoft continues to get to the downside right there. And again, good little opportunity there at $5 to maybe pick up some Microsoft. Let's see what's really hot here today again. So we still have NVTS USAR now turned around, actually. Wow, what a move on the metals names here. USAR, nice downside move, now down 4%, bringing it right back. I mean, I think it's frothy. We've talked about some of these levels. Neil just on Tesla, that's a top one there as well. EOSE, another name, EOS Energy, moving around 1750, up 3%. That looks like, wow, good little move there. Oh, yesterday we had a big deal with Bloom and Brookfield yesterday there, so the big infrastructure player there. Brookfield, you know, anoints Bloom as a $5 billion project partner, so that was a nice energy move there yesterday. We do have a pullback is happening, man, and we haven't had spaghetti in a minute, but I think Rigetti right now could be trying to find its base. So move down, back up into the 200 period, move down, back up, trying to figure out if it wants to take VWAP or not. So if you're on Rigetti right now, it's been a huge move to the high side, and you look like you want to fade through 53 now. So I'd go short holding this 50 cents. I think that gives you the trade. Short here, 53s or so. Give it to 53.30s, and that will give you 60 cents or so of coverage. And I think the move down is much bigger than the risk to the upside. So I do like that kind of a play there. That's Rigetti moving around. Nvidia, we have UUU. Oh, TMQ is moving around again. That's another metals play. Their Trilogy Metals. This moved around for us a couple weeks ago, or maybe it wasn't even that long ago, but now up 40. Yeah, there it is right there. Wow. $2 to $5 to $7 to $10 goes TMQ. Crazy upside mover there today as well. Amazon looks like it's hitting the skids a little bit back down now into 16s. So that's, oh no, sorry, that's still going upside. So that's nice. 16 there for Amazon, 216 to 17. APLD. Oh, let me check on AppLovin. AppLovin had that report there last week and did fall on that news, and now trying to find a base 550 for AppLovin. So just a couple little bit of a rundown there of some names that are trying to move around.
You can't talk about Amazon without sort of mentioning that Walmart story, because that was the one that I missed. Walmart was the one that I missed with regards to OpenAI. And it's right back up to 3% to the upside. But when that OpenAI story struck, it got to 106.5. But Walmart, did it make a 52-week? I guess.
Yeah, it should have.
I guess it made a 52-week high in there.
Feels like it did.
Although on an opening basis, right? Like it hasn't been there again. So that's going to be a big one. That's the theme of today. It really has been about some of these AI stories, like no questions asked. But it's two things. One, Nvidia off the lows. I like support to resistance and resistance to support, that kind of a thing. Support on Nvidia was at $183, at least prior to today. It just tagged underneath that 183 on the way back, so kind of beat VWAP and then holding under 183. So if this is going to continue to be a short, that's not a good trend line, but it's kind of close enough, and I'll redraw in a second. You break trend here, I want to look short on Nvidia, relative weakness here, or we just wait for it to maybe topping tail at that 183 level. So Nvidia down 3%. A few other chip. I shouldn't say a lot of chip names because as far as I know, it's just ARM and AMD. Maybe there's some other. If there's other chip names that are strong, you guys let us know. I really only saw.
Yeah, Broadcom
AMD.
had that deal yesterday, so
Broadcom was strong yesterday.
I'm saying could be strong today.
Is it?
I haven't really looked yet.
Not really. Broadcom's down 3 points today.
Okay.
I don't think there's a lot of strength in the chips unless you're looking over at ARM or AMD right now.
Yeah,
both of which had news this morning, which is why.
Yeah, we are now basically, we can go band for band because right now Intel and AMD are P&L tied for me right now, as Intel's been hovering here, trying to go back up, and AMD's trying to also go back up to some of those highs. So yeah, we're pretty happy with the performance over there. Neil's been on Tesla. Let me check out what's going on with Rivian the last little while here. A name that we sort of left a little bit, $13 for Rivian. Okay, I mean, I'm really surprised at this market turnaround today. I mean, it's making me feel pretty good. We do have, remember, coming up, we're going to go to Neil in 1 second, but I just want to show everybody that we still do have, first of all, that's a sticky note, who cares about that? That's over with now, but we do have this big day today on Fed. So we already had Fed's Bowman, and this is the big one, right? At 12:20, join Obi and Joe live as they'll break down, or, well, I mean, I dare will be more breaking it down, but they'll break down the trade when Fed Chair Powell starts to speak. I know we're going to Adair, or no, we're going to Neil in a second, but Adair, do you know if these are prepared remarks at all? But
they really never specify. We didn't even know Powell last week is pre-recorded until pretty last minute. My knowledge is it's not pre-recorded. It will be out loud, and because it's for the event it's at, I assume it's prepared. Sometimes there's a Q&A, but those are not guaranteed. We usually don't find out until right when they happen. So if I get any more info about a fireside chat or a Q&A, I'll let you guys know. I have no reason to believe it's not prepared.
Okay, so I was going to say, if Adara doesn't really have too much information, then I guess the market probably doesn't either. So we'll just stick our ear to the ground here and wait to see what happens come to 12:20, sorry. So an hour and a half or so from now, we'll have Fed Chair Powell, Mr. Roberts.
Yes, we will have Fed Chair Powell, but you know what? We can also have situation we all know is going to be worthwhile and valuable. Empowered women changing the world, and we can all make it happen together. The Woman Boss trains and mentors women and girls across Africa to lead, innovate, and thrive. Since 2018, we've reached over 10,000 women and girls, and your donation today can launch the next great entrepreneur. Scan the QR code on screen now and join us in building a better future. Shout out to them let's go to Adara. We've got Sector Watch, and maybe talk about Lithium Americas when we come back.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about these sectors. We're really used to tech leading the market, but that is emphatically not the case today, at least not to the upside. Now, in terms of strength here, finance doing really well. Wells Fargo, American Express actually strong. Bank of America, as we mentioned, did not report today. They report tomorrow, but they're still doing quite well today. JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, two of our earnings names from today in the banking space, actually read. The Goldman Sachs has buoyed quite nicely from its low of day. Health technology a bit weak here. Consumer services, though, really strong. Disney notably on watch. Reportedly, they're considering naming two CEOs to replace Bob Iger. That announcement likely to come in early 2026. Communications really strong. Retail trade, with the exception of Amazon, incredibly strong. And Amazon brings us to our tech sectors, which are quite weak, with the exception of Google and Palantir here in technology services. Microsoft, Meta, Oracle to the downside. Oracle and CRM both actually announcing some deals today, but they can't really get those stocks to do much to the upside. Meanwhile, Nvidia and Broadcom both notably weak alongside Intel and Arista Networks here in electronic technology. AMD and Cisco trying to hold things up. AMD, a week after its OpenAI deal, now getting a deployment deal here for 50 of its AI GPUs with ORCL. Oracle, which also has a deal with OpenAI. There goes that circular revenue deal that Neil kind of referred to there, guys. Back to you.
Yeah.
That's obviously a much nicer way of putting it than the way I said it, but it's still the same thing.
I like
it accurately describes the situation, I believe, is the best way to think about it. So, you know, it's all the same companies relying on growth. Well, and it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that if something doesn't happen, like let's say OpenAI doesn't fulfill a commitment to, I don't know, let's just throw Oracle out there, right? And then Oracle doesn't have the revenue that guidance was throwing out there, and then down the line, like that could have a bit of a trickle down effect. And
I mean, what happens when one of these gets canceled?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Possibly. It's just like it just makes the downside risk worse. Is all. You know, everything's all well and good as long as the money keeps flowing. It's just when you have that kind of a situation, no one's gonna like it if one deal doesn't go through or one payment gets missed. People are gonna get a little bit skittish. That's all.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree with that. You mentioned, did you have a thought on LAC?
LAC is Lithium Americas. Still didn't really see anything in particular with LAC, but it did. There's that 880 level, and it finally broke out. So finds resistance, breaks resistance, and now all it has to do is close above. On the 50, I like on a 15-minute, because all these topping tails on the 15-minute are pretty clean. So a close above 880 on a 15-minute chart looks really good to me. If you're chasing, because I think you're chasing up here ultimately. So if you're chasing, then you want to make sure you get a good entry. So on that 15-minute chart, which looks like we're going to get a new bar right about now. So there we go. Now we've held 880. Now let's see us hold on to the, there's a topping tail. Now you have to hold on to the 880 on the next bar. So that can happen. I think you want to be joining the long there on LAC. But as I mentioned before we went to the break, or to Adara, not to the break, it's Nvidia. Like the market's trying to break out the high. Well, guess what's not breaking the high right now? It's Nvidia. Nvidia is challenging breaking its relief trend to the upside by losing VWAP here. So this is more of a counter trend trade to the market, but on trend trade with Nvidia. The market's trying to break out the top. Nvidia's trying to break down. So I'm going to weasel on in. Ode to Sharif, who's not here today. Weasel on in on the trend break here on Nvidia. And if the market gets down to VWAP, I think that'll give me if the Nasdaq gets down to VWAP, that'll give me a place to look for the exit here. Prior bar high, always the out for me on a play like this. So it's about a $0.50 risk there on Nvidia. And then look for this is the next trade for me to the south side, and look for the next trade to the long side. Might not be ARM, if apparently that bouncing a little higher than I anticipated.
Yeah. All these names continue to get a little bit higher. Oh.
There we go. I was muted there. Yeah, I was going to say that all these names continue to go higher right now as well. But there's something that we do around here that I know there's some people
get that tilapia.
A little interested in what is for lunch. We had talked about, we had actually some really good omelets this morning. I think it's one of our favorite things here. Today was omelets, veggies with cheese.
There's corn in there too.
Corn. Yeah, that's what last week I was calling it like the Mexican omelet there, but there it goes. So nice move there for omelets. We like that here today. But Oh, okay. This may be why there was, Trilogy Metals now popping to the highs right now. TMQ, just right now, TMQ on the Amex. There it goes, man. Nicely move up to 1040. This may explain why we got a lot of veggies there today, because today's menu, and this sounds actually very, very tasty, and I'm very proud to announce, this is nothing that I've announced ever before. Chicken paella. Okay. Joe wondering what that is. It's fine.
You never,
like a jambalaya. Paella is like all these. So anyways, it has corn, peas, peppers, tomatoes, all kind of put together there. Paella. So we can Spanish, I believe.
All the things that were in the omelet.
Exactly. All things in the omelet are now in a chicken paella for lunch with steamed garlic. Ooh, steamed garlic broccoli. I like. And a little Caesar salad. So I don't know if that Caesar salad goes with this or not, but we'll have our salad. Hopefully there is some chicken paella on the side. Would love to test that out. So that is today there, Neil. Chicken paella. That's what's for lunch. I mean,
you can't go wrong with the paella.
You know, seafood paella.
Shout out to Seinfeld.
I mean, that would be.
It was.
I mean, we're not down in Nolans over here.
That was George's mom, right?
With the paella.
With paella.
It is definitely a Seinfeld thing, but yeah.
That was a Costanza thing. I think.
Yeah, I mean the paella is. I can't remember exactly the text.
I gotta rewatch
that, but probably it sounds like a George thing. Where his mom was making paella, yeah, that would make sense.
I'm always
family. I don't think ever.
You gotta try new things, Joe. You gotta let Joe try some new things. Joe doesn't eat pie. Joe doesn't eat cookies. Joe has never tried paella. We'll get him on that dish. We'll get him on that dish for sure.
No paella, no pie. Oh, I get it. Anything that sounds like pie, he's not having. Paella?
Well, that seems like a
Joe,
really
man, you're a very complicated guy over there.
Way too complicated.
Very, very. Now this guy's not eating food that sounds like other food. Why? You have never had paella before, right? Okay. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, I feel like your system is like, if something sounds like pie, you're not going to be... All right, well, Joe's going to give an update on the midday on what he thinks of paella. I like paella.
He's going to like it.
I like jambalaya better, I think, but...
Yeah, my seafood jambalaya? No, oh my goodness. Don't even get me started.
Oh, swimming is canceled.
All day, every day. Swimming's canceled.
Yeah, this one's school, because here in Toronto, all the pools are in schools. And I don't know what last week they were having, I thought they were having their high school tour thing, and I think that's why they canceled it, but it looks like it still is closed. Okay, so only volleyball tonight, so. Aaron's swimming, no, or not yet?
Yeah, but that's tomorrow. We have it's Embers, but girl guides today.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. There's always something going on, except for Thursdays.
I look forward. When I don't have anything going on, I'm like upset.
Like, what do we do?
Yeah, I have no idea what to do.
Go to the court and play some basketball.
Yeah, there's always, I mean, these days, we live right near a school as well, so it's like, by the way, this TMQ is going
What is this?
crazy.
What is going on?
Right now, there's a lot of volume coming into this name right now as we break above $11, and this is just another metals play. You were talking LAC earlier, we were talking USAR. They all continue just to rip right now, almost uncontrollably to the upside there. So a nice, huge move up now, 70% upside for TMQ. So yeah, huge move right now for this name, and it doesn't look like it wants to stop anytime soon. So TMQ continues to go long upside there. On any pullbacks, I think I've made this clear for a little bit. I like a pullback in Amazon. So I think this would be a name to short. It didn't quite get to the levels. I was talking about 218 short right here, but those are levels that we write down earlier on in the day. So now we can easily adjust what we're thinking about, and that's been now 217 and change high. We get back up to there in the next little while, I'll be re-shorting I haven't shorted it yet, but I will be shorting Amazon at some point. We wait for Intel to fall down, and AMD has already been the one for me today. So we had really liked some of those levels down there, and we hit it a couple times. AMD. And what we wrote down was 216, 217 as the longs came right into play right there, and boom, upside right now. Advanced micro devices. All right, Adara, what you got over there?
What I have here is a US dollar that is still consolidating and really struggling to get above that $100 level. Now, that $100 level last time we were above was August 1st. So it's been quite some time here, but we're still continuing in that uptrend from the lows on September 17th. Those were made on Fed Day. No economic data to speak of. We know the CPI has been pushed back to a confirmed date of October 24th, Friday, October 24th. That's coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics itself. So just be aware of that. Now, I do want to mention here our lovely Fed team. This man in the middle here, Fed Chair Powell, at 12:20 p.m. So at basically an hour and a half from right now, 90 minutes from now, he will be speaking at a conference in Philadelphia. I will be covering that for you guys here live. So stay tuned on our midday show. Check out Opie and Joe Trading and check out this Fed Speak. I'll be covering that for you guys. Now, in the afternoon, we'll get Fed's Collins and Fed's Waller. Fed's Waller coming through at 3:25 p.m. Fed's Collins at 3:30 p.m. We already heard from Fed's Michelle Bowman, who's also the Vice Chair of Supervision. She spoke earlier today. So Fed Talk keeping us busy, even though we don't have economic data. And it is worth noting, too, I just saw apparently in the prediction markets, they're expecting this shutdown to last until at least November 16th now. Back to you.
Wow, it just keeps, it's trending in the wrong direction, the shutdown.
Oh, yeah, I haven't checked call sheet. I didn't check yesterday.
I just literally, when Adara said, I'm like, I need to get that back up there again. Because I always have it on the wrong sheet. Was it at 37 days? Yikes.
Yuck.
Yikes.
Right there.
The longest shutdown ever is what's being predicted in the market.
Yeah, well, we're on day 14 now, I guess, because I don't know if you count weekends. I don't know how these guys do it, but right there, we've been shut down since the 1st of October. So, yeah, not great, guys, for the shutdown. So
it's not what we're looking for.
Sorry about that. Yeah. No one's happy about that move, right?
Well, I can't imagine anybody should be happy about that.
No, I mean, the market seems to be shrugging it off somewhat right now. I mean, obviously, we're going to have to wait to see what the impact is on GDP and stuff like that. As you know, where are the paychecks now coming from? As we ask sort of rhetorical questions. I mean, hopefully, there are some employees that are furloughed that are going to get back pay and whatnot. But yeah, for now, that's part of why the weakness I was thinking in Amazon and in some of these retail plays. But again, hoping that gets settled sooner rather than later. I mean, the question is, how much does the market rip when we do hear of said settlement? That would be interesting to see if that even happens. So
some of the retail type names could get a bit. They've been bad anyways this year, regardless. Like look at like I'm talking about things like Procter. Like they just those kind of companies have been pretty trash all year long. So maybe that's what would get them going a little bit. Would be you get a bit of a deal. But ooh, that looks a little bottomy.
We still need to release the government numbers too, right? I mean,
well, maybe we get some economic data that helps things out as well. Because we're not going to get any data until it's hard to speculate exactly when, you know, let's just say the government shutdown ends tomorrow. Like at what point do you get some of the past economic data that we've missed out on? Is to take a couple of weeks? Do we get some of it rolling out? That all remains to be seen, and it's sort of it'll be ad hoc for a little bit. And I don't wonder if that should we get a deal eventually, but maybe we wait for a little bit of data to come out back after, and then you can catch a bit of a bounce. Would make some sense. To me. Airy pages, like just very quickly. Okay, so first things first. First support, trend break into first support on Nvidia. That's a pretty hefty 181 bottoming tail candle, so 82. I got out at like 40, but it bounced pretty clean off of 181 there. And a pretty decent bottoming tail candle. Remember, there's a counter trend trade to the market because the market is going to the upside. Airy pages, I did not trade Blue Ocean while I was away. But for anyone, someone asked what Blue Ocean was when we were talking about it earlier. It's this simple. I'm on Nvidia now, so I'll do it with Nvidia. Blue Ocean is an overnight marketplace where you can trade pretty much everything. It's not like exactly every single stock, but most of the big names are going to have good liquidity. And so in the evenings on Blue Ocean, you can trade overnight. On Nvidia, you would have had all kinds of opportunity here. Like look at the short. On Nvidia, and you can take these trades if you have access to Blue Ocean. I know Robinhood does. Here at Real Trading, we certainly do. Every now and then the levels end up being pretty good. So like, what did we? Like this bottoming tail was at 185. Unfortunately, I don't know if you were like if you liked 185. So that bottoming tail candle of support in the overnight market was at 185 on Blue Ocean, and then 185 was the level that dropped off right away. Like once it lost 185, you can see it just absolutely flush. So Nvidia weak today, no questions asked. It was LAC that I was looking for that continuation, but it can't hold 880. So no hold of 880. Guess we have to wait for the volume weighted average price to try to hold up here. Up 3% here is LAC. Strong name. Looking for a place to buy this dip and join this trend.
Yeah, good look there. I mean, yeah, and good talk about the government shutdown. And I mean, and Blue Ocean. I was actually going to say to you guys, we do have Joe and Sharif, I almost said, Joe and Obi coming up here, and both of those fine gentlemen.
Joby.
Or Joby, yep. Yeah, we've had Joby before a couple of times. Good combo there. Both of these gentlemen have traded Blue Ocean, so they would be very advised on giving some sort of feedback on how that market works. So definitely shout out those guys on the show, which we have now 3 minutes to go. So again, guys, like, thank everybody for joining. I missed this. We had put down 101.50. We had talked about it when it was here, so I don't want to say it's missed opportunity here because we didn't necessarily grab the opportunity when it was there. But 101 just came in again another 10 minutes ago, and that's, to me, like, that's a really great base if you're looking to go short. And I still feel short in this market, despite obviously the turmoil that this market is currently facing. Right now, I'm still leaning towards the short side of that, and we just talked about the government shutdown, and we talked about the banks today, you know, beating but missing on their movement because it's a downside play today for the banks, but they've battled back nicely. A name yesterday was DraftKings. I think that there's, you know, could be some love for DraftKings at some point here as this name also tries to battle back here today, up 2%, so that's another battle back name that could get going some more. Brendan had a story in the pre-market, and I can't recall exactly what it was, but there was something about SMCI today as well, so maybe that was helping names like ARM and whatnot, but SMCI, nice upside play, and a name that we could get involved with. Dell Technologies has been a really good trade for the long. You know, if you are looking for something that, obviously there's going to be some AI here and some bubble action in Dell, but that's also had some nice moves, and they just recently reaffirmed guidance. So, and all of us talking about, you know, will some of these names hit and meet and extend some of their run. It's going to come down to earnings, and we're in earnings season right now, so we just got that with all of the banks. So it was Goldman Sachs. Let me just show you the banking sector just real quickly here today before we go back over to the midday and we talk about some chicken paella. Again, we got to get rid of this. That's not sponsoring anything, but here it is right now. JP Morgan down 1.4. It's Goldman Sachs down 2 right now today. And the name that we haven't looked up too much actually was SoFi and Robinhood. So let me just have a quick little look here on SoFi today. A name that I've recently bought some shares in. So we're, you know, I like SoFi, again, the bank. Big time movement upside for SoFi. So it's a big name that I like. And then Robinhood, not a bank, but another mover right there, down today, 2.6. But this could get picked up as well if we get back into the 50-period moving average. So great to have Neil back. And did I get stopped out? No, so I still own Target. It wasn't not a big play for me. We bought 89.50 or so. I did not put any stops in there for Target, but we did talk about that area right there, 86. So what I like to do for stops is sometimes you like to see it get retested. And yeah, I don't know if we mentioned a stop at all on Target, but that 86 was a decent spot. And if you got stopped out there, I still don't mind that stop. I mean, I don't think the market is necessarily going to boom out from now. So if you got hit out there at 86, it's only at 88 now, you know, so hopefully it's not that big of a hit, but I still really like Target, and it's a name that I'm long. So I like Target.
Yeah, Target. That's
just been beat up so much. I think there's some activism possible.
Oh, there's definitely some activism possibilities.
Yeah, so that was my reason to make it for that one.
Yeah, like it's been beaten up way too long. 11 o'clock already. Well, obviously we'll be back. You'll see us in the afternoon, but you've got Joe, you've got Obi. You're locked and loaded and ready to go. You don't have to do anything.
Intel's coming back
and relax.
Yeah.
We'll see you later on.
And good trades.